Morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Happy December 14th to you. It's Thursday. We will get our heads right in here. It does feel a bit groundhoggy. I will not deny that. But when I find myself in times of trouble, Ben and Paulie come to me. And makes me feel better always to come in, crack the mic, and shoot the breeze with my buddies. Always have a lot of laughs in here. And we got a lot to do, man. We actually do. It's going to be a crazy last week or so of the show. We have a lot of things to dial in for the Christmas and holiday extravaganza. I'm going to do the warning again. If you are sport boy and you are sport boy only, you will not like that show. Please don't listen and trash it because we really enjoy doing it. We do nothing but Christmas content. And again, there's the caveat. Unless something major goes down. And if it's something minor, you know, that's like, oh, well, the Padres went out and hired a hitting coach. We will certainly mention it in the Christmas show. We try to keep it, though, straight Christmas across the board. I can't recall a time, fellas. That's Paul Reindl, by the way. He is the executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Good morning.
Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor here as well. I don't remember a time where we've had to interrupt the Christmas and holiday extravaganza, but it doesn't mean it won't happen.
I don't think so.
Anything?
The year when AJ made all the moves, they were right after Christmas.
They were right after
Yu
Christmas,
Darvish
yep.
and everything. That was
Blake
all right
Snell.
after.
Blake Snell
yeah.
was all after Christmas. I mean, look.
It was in that week between Christmas and New Year's, I believe.
Yeah, if anything does come down, though, we're not morons, right? We know that we have an audience to serve. We're not morons. If they go out and find somebody or hire somebody or trade for somebody or sign somebody, we're going to talk about it. All right. So
It might be the only 4-hour period of the year when I am awake that I don't talk any sports.
I'm glad you brought this up
Because
God, that's a good
it's
segue.
actually one of the hardest shows for me every year.
It's so
is
fun.
genius.
It's so that makes it more fun.
I really can't communicate with people without putting it into the lingo of sports.
It's
somehow.
true. It's true.
I mean, at our family dinner table, there's always a connection to sports somehow. So
Well, I
when
mean,
you take it away from me, I become a less functional human being.
So it's interesting you bring this up. God, and we did not plan this foreplay, as we don't plan much on this show. I had a conversation yesterday, Ben, with one Paul Reindl, who's our executive producer.
I know him.
And I was walking down to get the mail. We also had a text thread about this. We were struggling to find a gift idea for our boss, Adam Klug. It is important that we get him a gift. He's going to be working the Christmas and holiday extravaganza in costume, by the way.
Got his costume and everything.
Got his costume. He's ready to go. He's going to be involved in the Christmas and holiday extravaganza. And so I want to get him a gift from us, okay, the three of us. And so I call Paulie and I go, any ideas at all? And he goes, none whatsoever. I said, all right, let me think. I've known Adam now for 5 years, right? Almost.
I had an idea. It was just nothing but like Georgia Bulldogs.
Memorabilia.
That's
So,
the only thing I can think of.
I thought about it, and I said to myself, actually, I said to Paulie, I go, all right, here's a man. He's married. He's got 3 kids. I've worked with him every day for 5 years. I talk to him probably more than anybody on this show. Talk to him on the phone. He'll call me randomly in the middle of the day, wake me up from a nap, and be like, hey, did you see Joe Musgrove learn to cutter? And I'm like, you couldn't wait to tell me this tomorrow.
I learned this week he's afraid of me. Like, he is afraid of calling me.
Why?
Because I guess when I answer, I sound like I'm
Well, yeah, you rush people.
bothered or
Yes,
tired. And
always.
he's like, I shouldn't call him. I'm interrupting something.
Yeah.
He's very busy. He's doing something else.
So I realized yesterday.
Am I that bad of a person?
No, you're not a bad person. You're just a bad.
You're bad on the phone.
You're bad on the phone.
I'm bad
yeah,
on the phone.
You're terrible on the phone. when I realized yesterday, I go, Paulie asked the question that you always ask. All right, what would he not buy for himself? He's a father. He's a father. He's got 3 kids. You know, like we live in San Diego. He's not buying a lot of exorbitant things for himself. He's not me.
It
right?
honestly made me feel bad about myself.
Same.
For not knowing
Piece of
him
S's.
better.
Yes, we are
I'm
absolute.
like, because Woodsy was like, well, he doesn't, we can get Ben golf stuff always. As a default. We can always get Ben something golf related.
What?
Really, all of us. But we're like, I don't think Adam golfs. I've never gone golfing with him.
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
What
So
are his passions?
What are his hobbies? What are his passions? I'm like, I don't know.
So then it naturally jumped into my head. I go, he's honestly kind of like Ben. They're passionate about sports. When Ben drives to work, he listens to PGA Tour radio. When you leave work, you listen to Coach, I'm imagining, and probably, flip around the sports dial. And I go, what does he like? What wouldn't he get for himself? He's not like a whiskey drinker, where he's like, oh, I love a good bourbon. Like, all right, get him a bottle of good bourbon. He's not. I thought to myself, I go, well, this is more of an indictment on me and Paul and you for not asking him, what are you into, man? What do you like? What wouldn't you buy for yourself? I'm not going to buy him like a bottle of cologne or something. Like, what? Does he eat even? Like, I thought maybe a gift card to a restaurant. I go, I don't even think he eats. He's 110 pounds. Like, I've never seen him have a meal.
I've never seen him eat either, I don't think.
He's a machine.
We went to dinner with him not that long ago. Did he eat?
I don't think he ate.
I sat right next to him. I don't think he ate.
I think he just drank water the whole time. So I sat there and I went, I'm an a-hole, but that's been established. We all are selfish and self-important. I get that. Huge egos. I get it. We should know one hobby. If he has one. Paulie's like, hold on, let me look. And he goes, well, I found like a picture of the Georgia national championships from last. I go, I don't want to get him memorabilia. I go, I don't know what to get him.
Likes the Braves, likes the Georgia Bulldogs.
What are you going to get him?
I don't know.
A Ronald Acuna Jr. shirt? Like, I don't know what to get this dude.
Hey, we got you a Freddie Freeman Braves jersey. It was marked on sale.
It's got tear stains all over it. So I just thought, like, this really sucks. He's not like a wine guy. Like if you wanted to, what's he like? I love memorabilia. I love guitars. I love books. I love records. I love golf. I love baseball. You're good. It's easy. I love clothes. I love leisure wear. Paulie loves shoes. Paulie has all kinds of interests. You're another toughie to buy for.
I get it.
You and Adam are
this
very
Adam thing
similar.
Is it possible that we're actually giving him the worst present right now? By making him feel, now I have to get something for these guys. Could his present just be, don't worry about us, Adam. We're good. You've taken good care of us all year long. Please don't worry about us over the holidays. And just take that.
I still want presents.
Take that stress off of his plate. Like,
because does he think he has to buy
now
us something?
Now he probably thinks he has to get us something if we're going to get him something.
Adam, you've given us the greatest gift. And it's right here in front of us.
What about
this platform?
What about meat? Does he like meat?
Meat.
Yeah, we get an annual gift from our agent that we share, and I got the annual gift that it keeps on giving.
I got my meat yesterday as well.
Yes, I got my meat.
Here was the problem. He sent it to the wrong address for the second year in a row. So I don't know if the meat's gone bad or if the meat's good.
I mean, it's packed in
dry ice. It is. It is. But I don't know how it was sitting out. And I'm like, bro, I just reached out to you for your new address because I knew you moved. And I sent it to you. You did not ask me for my new address.
It's a gourmet blend of ground beef.
Ben's Badass Burger blend.
Yeah, it's a gourmet blend. It's good. It's a good burger. It really is. It's a tasty burger. But he's very consistent. Same thing every single year. Kind of count on that meat. I mean, I don't know what I'd do without that meat now in December, but I got my meat. Do you think Adam would like some meat?
I don't think that he eats anything. And, I think if he does eat meat, he probably eats. He's one of those guys that's like, oh, just a little red meat. I just don't know what he likes. I don't want to make him
Would
feel...
you be stunned if we learned he's an avid pickleball player after work?
Anything he said, you guys didn't realize that I'm a power lifter? You couldn't have got me some new straps for my hand? I'd be like...
super into surfing.
Yeah, right.
I'm running my third marathon this year on Saturday.
I need a new wetsuit.
Dude, what? I have no earthly idea. Other than the obvious, my wife, my kids, your family, I get it. He's very, very dedicated father and husband. Great, great man.
I think my default move, I've done this with you guys, you in particular, Woods, because while you have so many hobbies, you also have a lot of stuff.
I have so much stuff.
And I'm like, what do I get him that he doesn't have?
Yeah.
The default
I just get
move
it for myself.
is always to get you stuff for your kids.
For my kids. Yeah, that's great. Because I won't buy them anything. I just buy stuff for me. No, I sat there yesterday and I go, it won't make him feel bad that he has to get us a gift, but I feel like he's going to feel a little bad that he doesn't have any interests whatsoever outside of like college basketball, college football, professional, basketball, professional football, press conferences, baseball. Like, you two unequivocally are the biggest sports nerds I've ever known in my life.
Yeah.
In my life, and it's not particularly close. It's not a bad thing. And I couldn't do this without you.
Work, home, family, and sports. I guess that's the. At least I do have golf as a hobby.
Golf is your one.
Is definitely a hobby of mine.
I've gotten you a 3-wood. I've gotten you a bag. I've gotten you golf spikes.
And I use these things.
100%.
So, yeah.
So because I know.
But you can't do that with Adam because he's not a golfer.
What does he like? What the hell is he into? It's really hard to buy gifts for people when you're like, because you don't want to do the blanket bit of like, oh, I got wine for everybody. Like, I'm not giving Paul and Megan wine. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I wonder, is it something that most people get their boss a gift at the holidays?
They do.
Yeah.
That is a normal thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ben fought us pretty hard in the chat. He did, and he finally succumbed. You guys need to Venmo me right now because my wife paid for the gift that we did get him. She paid for it, so I need to Venmo her back because
The wetsuit full of meat.
The wetsuit full of meat.
This
A meat wetsuit.
this segment did remind me. One of our favorite bits, you actually might hear it later today. One of the favorite bits that we've done all year was things Ben likes, and there's a lot of things that Ben likes. I have compiled things Adam likes.
Oh, yes, already? Baseball, football.
I like Georgia football.
I like 3-pointers.
Zoom press conferences.
I like tough questions. I like Nick Saban. I like Kirby Smart. I like Freddie Freeman.
I like Chipper Jones.
I like Kevin Seitzer. I like Bobby Cox. That's all it is. Do you think? Here's the other thing I want to. That's the other thing.
I like Arthur Blank.
If Adam wanted to know something about me, he could and would call or DM or text Hannah and be like, "What does he want?" Right? I don't know his wife. What?
And I think he wants to keep it that way.
Probably because I would call her on the air. I really, really would. If you're listening,
What, man? Howard Stern did it.
if you're listening, Adam's wife, please reach out. 833-288-0973. What does he deserve but he won't buy for himself?
That's
right?
always the best.
I want
way
to get
go.
him something that he won't buy for himself. We got him something,
We
and
did
I
get
like
him something, and Ben was like, I don't know if he's that type of person.
Right.
And I go, I think he is. It's something that he wouldn't pay for
Correct.
himself.
Yeah, it's expensive, and he probably wouldn't pay for it himself. He's got the kids and everything else, but he's a good man. But it's so weird that you brought that up, Benny, because I had that conversation yesterday. It's wild. Is that your only outside passion is golf?
Yes.
Speculation. You like speculation. We love to
That's part of
speculate
work.
on this
That's
show.
part
It's
of
part of
work,
sports.
actually,
Yeah,
though. It's family, it's work, it's golf. I mean, I like to mix up the golf in different places. And
does he like weed or anything? Like
Adam?
Yeah, I don't
I
think
think
so.
so.
Gardening?
How about Jelly of the Month subscription? It's not the worst idea I'm seeing in there. I just don't. Yeah, do you like gardening?
This is what Visa gift cards were invented
Which is
for.
so impersonal.
Yeah.
It really is.
That can be a good gift in
dude.
certain situations.
God, man.
Not like I got you guys some cool stuff. I imagine you got us some cool stuff for the extravaganza, for the
yeah.
gift exchange.
You
And we
guys
just
are
bring
gonna-
Adam onto the show and be like, here's a gift card.
Yeah, here's your
Like,
gift
no.
card because we don't know anything about you. It makes us bad. It makes us bad friends. I mean, Adam's our friend. He's also our boss, but he's our friend. I don't know anything about my friend, and that makes me a bad. And I know I'm like a self-involved dude, really trying hard not to be. But that's a perfect example of me being just a giant egomaniac, self-involved.
It's nice
turd.
when you can consider your boss a friend. I
He
don't
is
think
a friend.
I don't think everybody feels that way about their boss. A lot
He
of people
is-
think they're the enemy, actually.
I'll say, first time in this industry, I've felt that way.
1,000%. I know I could call him and absolutely unload anything that was going on in my life, and he would listen.
Hey man,
dude.
you want to grab some coffee tomorrow?
100%.
Like, I need to talk to you about something.
No
He'd
question.
Be like, done.
No, in the drop of a hat. I've never really had that either. I did have one guy, but he was banging one of the girls we worked with, so that wasn't super great. But other than that,
That's
Adam,
a story for another day.
All right. Yeah, well, I mean, I can tell it if you want.
No, it's all right. We've got to keep it moving.
We had to do like depositions and
we're
stuff
going
like that. It
to
was super
so
fun.
we've been doing our look back throughout the year, and we're going to start a little earlier today because we have a guest today at 9:30. Grant Brisby, always one of our favorites, is going to join us. I am fascinated because the stories that have come out. Jung-Ho Lee is going to the Giants, but they have not landed so many other stars, and they were talking about it a lot yesterday. Like, what is it about the Giants that they can't land a superstar player? And Buster Posey's like blaming the city of San Francisco somehow. I don't totally get this.
I will say this, in the interest of being fairly fair, I think if you read his comments, he says perception, real or otherwise. He doesn't say, he does, but he does throw that nugget out there for people to bite down on, and that's on him.
I mean, if you're telling me people don't want to sign in California because there's higher taxes, I know that's a real thing that athletes consider. Shohei Ohtani turned you down to go to L.A., though.
He was never leaving, man. He was never leaving.
To me,
LA. Never.
If you're blaming something other than they just didn't convince him that was a better spot for him. That's all it really was. But we'll talk to Grant Brisby about the offseason, the NL West, Giants, Padres, everything coming up later in the show at 9:35 today. Got our usual features, of course, including the Daily Ditty coming up next. Listener, who won yesterday?
Devlin.
Devlin
murdered me.
Time
in the
this
punk
week?
category, just murdered you.
He didn't murder me.
You lost,
he beat me by one.
You lost Friday, so this is
he
our
murdered
second listener.
it. He killed it in the game.
I killed it.
You did.
I killed it in the game.
And you made one tiny mistake, right off the bat, and it cost you. So Devlin
You lost the no-hitter with 2 outs.
Gets the Daily Ditty selection coming up next, and then we are off and running here on a Thursday, our final Thursday show of the year with Ben and Woods here on San Diego's #1 sports station. This hour of Ben and Woods is brought to you by Smart and Final this holiday season. Shop groceries and baking needs in one trip, and that's it. It's Smart and Final. Here's Vicky with some traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
Son of a bitch stole my line. I was going to use this one for my ditty today.
Well, you were so bummed earlier that you didn't have it for today.
I didn't
but
know
it
what
turns
it
out you got
was.
the same song you were going to get anyway,
That's
courtesy of
amazing.
listener Devlin. You guys, I think there's a bromance coming up. You both nailed the category, the punk category yesterday, and now you both picked the same daily ditty the following day.
We are very simpatico. That is Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues and their beloved... I don't even know what you call Shane MacGowan, to be honest with you. He was just passed away last week. One of the most brilliant songwriters of all time, and passed away. Had a long and troubled life, but had seemingly been doing a little bit better as of late. And that's Fairy Tale of New York. That song will bring you to your knees, man. It is stunning, and that's the exact same one I was going to play today.
I think we missed an opportunity.
Probably.
We signed.
We usually do.
We signed our contract extension earlier this year.
We did.
3 more years. We did not include a key man clause in our contract. I didn't even know they existed until yesterday.
Nor did I.
But we found out from Shohei Ohtani reporting that not only has he deferred $680 million in his contract, but there's this little heard of provision in the deal called a key man clause that if Andrew Friedman, the president of baseball operations for the Dodgers, essentially their GM, or their owner Mark Walter ever leaves the organization, Ohtani can opt out of his contract at the end of that year. Anytime that happens, anytime they're gone.
And still get his deferred money, is what I read.
Yeah. That he's earned up to that point. I don't think he could
not all 6-8.
I don't think he
in
gets
4 years, if that were to happen and he opted out after that 4th
68
year.
He gets
times
4.
4.
Yeah, he'd still get it later, and then could go sign with another organization.
Ben, quick, what's 68 times 4?
What's 68 times 4?
68 times 4 is 272.
I believe it would have taken me a month to do that. I was praying that it was Dave Roberts. That if that happened,
The
that
key
would
man,
have meant-
they could not fire him.
Oh, I was on my knees saying, "Please let it be
Let's just
Dave
say,
Roberts."
what if that was proposed? Did the Dodgers be like,
So you can't do it? You're like, go to the Giants then. You can't. I don't think.
So, I mean, sports-wise, this does open up the possibility for a team like the New York Mets with, Steve Cohen money. If they wanted to offer Andrew Friedman, we're going to offer you
$1 billion.
$1 billion to leave the Dodgers and bring Ohtani with you.
It doesn't mean he will opt out.
He doesn't
It means
mean he has to, but
means
he could. He could.
Yeah. This has happened before, allegedly. I think Joe Madden had a key. What is it? The Keymaster?
Keyman. Oh, the Keymaster. The
Gozer clause.
I am the gatekeeper.
I believe that Joe Madden. I did read yesterday that Joe Madden
He did.
had a Keymaster.
It was
clause
involving
as well.
Andrew Friedman as well.
Yeah, exactly. Who is this guy? What is this guy doing, man?
He certainly knows how to get some job security around places if he continues to include these clauses in contracts, and they're centered around him. Who would have our key man clause been? Would it have been Adam?
Adam
if
and Michael,
Adam
right?
leaves,
Yeah.
Michael leaves, we can opt out of our deal.
Yeah, that would have been R2. Yeah,
really smart?
it's actually
Like,
it is.
It doesn't have to be on a Major League Baseball, damn near $1 billion deal for it to make sense. You can put it in, the layman terms. And like, if you are signing to stay on with your job, I'm assuming you enjoy working for your boss.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't put that in there without it, right? I mean, that's a very important part.
We could have
of
done it
that.
with each other. Like if Paul or Woods ever leave,
We could
I can
opt
opt
out.
out of my contract.
They don't give a lot of opt-outs or
In radio, no. We don't have the kind of leverage
There's
that
no
Shohei
power.
Ohtani had in his discussion.
They're like, you guys are lucky to be here, and we can find somebody that will do it for a quarter of what you make.
Key man clause, whatever you want. Shohei essentially wrote his own contract.
He really
right?
did. Him and Nev,
Nez.
I always call him Nev.
Nez Balello?
Nez Balello. They went in there with an idea of some interesting proposals. And I mean, if you're the Dodgers, what do you? Yeah, sounds good.
I
I'm
don't
in.
think Ohtani is. I mean, he seems like he's a pretty humble guy in terms of like he doesn't want a lot of trappings around him. But if he wanted, like, I need a fruit basket in my hotel suite every single series, like waiting for me with exactly 4 pears and 3 oranges.
He could get it.
He would get that. He could write whatever he wanted into his deal.
It's an ungodly amount of power that he has. And listen, I think he's exploited some of it. I think he has, but I also think, anytime you walk in and you're the guy that deferred 68 of your 70, gives you a lot of credibility and again, there's a reason he did it. I will tell you this, as I've said, relax, Dodger fans. It was a brilliant move. Absolutely incredible move by Ohtani. It's not 100% I just want to win and I want to, you know what I mean? There's benefits to this for him. It will be painted in the media as the guy wanted to win so bad he gave up his salary. It's smart. There's a lot of smart things he did and things that are beyond our comprehension of why he did it. That doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is he did it, and I thought it was a great move. So
yeah, and it wasn't the Dodgers' idea. Remember, the Giants agreed to it.
Yeah.
It was Ohtani's idea, and the Dodgers simply were smart enough not to go, no, we can't do that. They just said, whatever you want. That's all they did. They just, whatever you want.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Well, I want to play the audio of the Arizona Diamondbacks owner yesterday talking about Ohtani. It was very, very juicy. We'll play that for you later in the show as well.
Yeah.
But, very another interesting Shohei nugget out yesterday. Continues to just get worse for everyone.
It is. All right, we're going to take our a little early 2023 look back. We're up to the month of May as we count down to December through our final regular show on Tuesday. May included our discussion of ghost stories in MLB and Mookie Betts' fear of staying in a particular hotel in Milwaukee.
You not believing in paranormal activity.
No, it certainly turned into a memorable conversation here on the Ben and Woods program. We'll revisit that and more coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We've been pointed out. We were negligent in not mentioning that today is Peter Seidler Day in the city of San Diego. And I did see it earlier this week. Tom Seidler went in front of the city council and said some nice words about his brother, and the council declared that Thursday, December 14th, today is Peter Seidler Day in the city of San Diego. And Paul just kind of blew my mind. He said it was 1 month ago today that Peter passed away.
That's shocking.
Wow,
to me, man.
It's been a month. It's been a tough month for Padres family, obviously the Seidler family, but just all of us in San Diego have felt that loss, and it's been a tough time for sure. But a nice way to remember Peter today and honor his memory and the things that were important to him, the causes, the charities, the good works that he did, and that's all part of the declaration from the city of San Diego that they made earlier this week, and today is the day. So if you don't do anything else, maybe a little extra, kindness, or think of one of the things that was important to Peter, homelessness, medical research, lots of youth sports. He had so many passions and interests, not just the Padres, that today is a good day to think of those things.
So does that mean that today is always Peter Seidler Day? How does that work?
I don't think so.
I'm sure there's different parameters for it all, but I think when a local city does something like this, I think it's a one-off.
I feel like
he certainly deserves an annual day if we wanted to go that far. I have no problem with that.
I mean, Mayor Todd Gloria can probably put that in there, be like, we're just going to make it every year, December 14th or whatever. But I think in general, it's usually just like one day.
I feel because my late father-in-law, Lauren Nancaro, had a day. And I believe it was January 28th, and it was a month after he passed. I believe that's it. And I do believe that at least my wife still celebrates that day. Sure. I don't know. I don't know if everybody else does.
We're not going to stop her from celebrating.
No, absolutely not. Like, you can't do that. Sorry. It passed. No,
no, it was a one-off.
It was just a one-off, Dave. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't think it works that way. At least not in my home. But I think that's awesome. That if today was that day, then do something nice for somebody today, because damn well Peter would. He would. Probably didn't have a day in his life where he didn't do something nice for someone.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking for annual today is Roast Chestnuts Day. I think every year on December 14th.
I think we've talked about chestnuts.
I've never eaten a chestnut in my life.
We have.
Nuts.
Didn't Maggie brought us some?
Well,
remember that? One of our tier ones.
Yeah,
you ate one.
I ate one?
Yeah. They're hideous.
I don't like nuts for the most part. And I definitely don't think I like chestnuts.
I vividly, you guys, remember the first time I ever went to New York City. Vividly. My dad took me, the family, when we lived in Connecticut, and we went into New York City, and they had like those carts, and I'm like, what is that smell? Like, what's going on over there? My dad's like, oh, those are roast chestnuts. And I was like, well, I'd like to try some. And I got some. I had one bite and was like, that's disgusting. I can't believe people actually eat these. Tastes like garbage.
Holiday tradition.
Why are we roasting garbage and eating it? That's what I don't understand. We talked about this years ago, and I believe Maggie, Tier 1 Maggie, drove down to the station and brought us a bag of roast chestnuts. And again, we're talking probably 20 years later. Still tasted like garbage 20 years later. So you're not missing anything on Roast Chestnuts Day.
All right, we're going to check traffic. When we come back, we're jumping into our look back. The month of May is coming up next. I mentioned our discussion of a certain Milwaukee hotel. We also have a Woods rant about Hot Pockets that was very memorable from the month of May coming up here. First, here's Vicky with a look at traffic at 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Vicky Pepper.
Things are still pretty quiet on our San Diego freeways other than that work zone on the 15 South at Deer Springs. I'm Vicky Pepper with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, let's go back to May 10th of this year. The Dodgers were visiting the Milwaukee Brewers, and we saw a story that Mookie Betts, instead of staying with the team at the prescribed team hotel, had rented an Airbnb. And the reason for that, well, do we get into the reason for that in the
yes,
in the clip?
Bit.
All right, so we get into the reason for it, but
he was scared. You can say it. He was scared.
Yeah, he's scared of the
hotel.
hotel.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
And we discussed it here on Ben & Woods.
the story as it goes is Mookie Betts. So the Dodgers are in Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. And Mookie is not staying at the team hotel. Now, I think, you read that and go, oh, man, this could be bad for the Dodgers. Guys that going out on their own. No. Mookie's not staying at the Pfister Hotel.
Pfister. The Pfister.
Pfister. Hardly know. Because, well, he's afraid to stay at the Pfister Hotel. He rented an Airbnb instead in Milwaukee and said, no, I'm not staying at the Pfister. I'm going to stay at an Airbnb. And the reason is because the Pfister Hotel is allegedly very haunted in Milwaukee.
Like our Hotel Del Coronado here in San Diego. There's been stories for a very long time. The hotel was built, the Pfister, in 1893.
I am team Mookie Betts on this one. Absolutely agree with Mookie Betts 1,000%.
So you guys believe in the paranormal?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You both do?
Unquestionably. Yeah.
See, I think there's a logical explanation for every one of those stories you just heard.
Let's hear them.
All right. Bryce Harper, he lays out his clothes before he goes to bed, wakes up. They're scattered about the room.
A bird.
Sleepwalking. He took an Ambien and got up in the night and thought he needed to get dressed and went back to bed. Didn't remember when he got up.
That could be easily debunked by asking, hey, Bryce,
did you take an Ambien?
Do you take Ambien before bed? No.
Do you
have a history of sleepwalking? No.
You don't always know it. It could have easily happened. It's much more logical. There's always a more logical, earthly explanation. Footsteps and the sound. It's an old hotel. There's like pipes. There's different air vents. You can hear things quite easily that, sound will reflect and, you hear something creepy that's there. I prefer to...
The iPod with playing static.
Electronics are always doing weird things.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they do weird things all the time. I think there's a logical
infuriated
explanation for all of it. No. And there's plenty of things to be scared of. I think when we all look out, like go into a dark room or whatever, you get that trepidation. I get it. Everyone kind of does a little bit. I mean, there's an earthly, if someone really wanted to give you a scare of a lifetime, they could find a way to float up into your window. They could find a way to hide in your garage when you're going up into, going to get a glass of water at night and they're right there in your kitchen to scare you would be absolutely terrifying. There doesn't need to be a ghost to do that. There's people out there that can do those sort of things. So I'm not a ghost or paranormal guy.
Would you stay?
Pfister? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my God.
One of the drops of the year. One of the drops of the decade, to be honest with you, Pfister. Absolutely. Would you stay at room 3327 at the Hotel Del?
Would I stay in that room?
In that room.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
All by yourself for a night.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice hotel. I mean,
very nice. Pfister. Absolutely. You would stay at the Pfister?
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you stay?
Pfister? Yeah, absolutely.
And they're not putting up Major League Baseball teams at crummy hotels. This is
probably
the best hotel in Milwaukee. That's why they stay
there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. What's the best hotel in Milwaukee, Paulie?
Pfister?
Yeah, there it is. You're a gem.
Pfister?
Yeah, Pfister. Absolutely. It's one of the best drops of all time.
Iconic moment.
This is
in Ben and Woods
purely iconic.
And then who was it? It was
Pfister?
G-Man
Yeah,
Choi,
absolutely.
who later joined the Padres, who also shared
the Pfister issues.
The terrified of the paranormal and what
And
goes
really
on in that
terrified
hotel.
of the Pfister.
Yeah.
Pfister?
Yeah.
All right, on a much less paranormal
Pfister?
bent,
Yeah, absolutely.
later in the month of May, we had a Rindle Report story about a man who was arrested, you might remember this, for shooting his roommate. And the reason he was so upset with his roommate is because his roommate took the last Hot Pockets.
The story was funny. Woods' reaction and tirade against Hot Pockets was what made this clip.
That's what turned it into a moment of the year.
Finally, a man was shot over the weekend in Louisville, and police report that it was because of a Hot Pocket.
They are tasty.
They're
They're fine.
They're fine.
I mean, it depends on how
You don't eat hot
Pockets.
I don't. But if you put them in the air fryer instead of the microwave sleeve, the microwave sleeve never gets them
You like
crispy
Hot
enough.
Pockets?
I like how they call that sleeve, by the way, a crisping sleeve.
Yeah.
That thing doesn't crisp anything. Nothing. Oh, you mean the soggy, boiling hot, half-frozen sleeve? Crisping sleeve my ass. It's never crisped anything. Is it possible to crisp something in a microwave, ever? Something that was frozen. Can you crisp something in a microwave?
No.
What are we, idiots? And we're like, slide it in the old
Surprised someone
crisping
hasn't
sleeve.
sued them
I
about
know.
that at some
There's
point.
nothing, you cannot crisp anything.
Crisping sleeve.
Crisp these, man. You can't crisp anything.
A 64-year-old man named.
Oh, it's cool. It's got the silver inside.
Yeah, that's gonna really
now
help.
I got it.
You know it can't be metallic, though.
Yeah, it can't be metallic.
The microwave
Yeah,
would
it explode. It's amazing.
So, it's really just cardboard.
It's cardboard,
Painted
silver cardboard. Yeah. Yeah, if we paint it silver, these morons will think that it crisps their Hot Pocket. I hate it so much.
Here's the thing: if you're eating Hot Pockets, you're probably hammered drunk.
How about this? How about the Stouffer's French bread pizza that you flip on the silver trellis or whatever it is, like, and you lay it up there? Oh, that's different from putting it on a paper plate. Stupid. So stupid. And here we all bought in. Oh, I'm in.
Decades.
I'm all
We've
decades.
all bought into the crispy
sleeve. It's a myth, and you're all suckers, all of us.
Just a bunch of idiots.
Where is the R&D? I want to see the research.
I want to see
behind
it.
this
Show me one that you
crispy
crisped.
sleeve.
Show me one that you crisped for once. It's not. It's impossible. It just doesn't exist. Crisping sleeve. The American way, just get reeled in. Yeah, it sounds good to me. The Stouffer's French bread too is like you fold that one up and then you set it on top of that one, and it's never firm. Like you have to put it in the oven. Oven's fine. Who's got 50 minutes though to make a? If you're going to take 50 minutes to make a Stouffer's French bread pizza, you can make something better. If you had 40 minutes to do it in the oven for a Hot Pocket, just make something better, more healthy than that. Who's got that time? Who's got that time?
Have you ever sat in in front of your freezer and you looked and you turned it over and you saw the time necessary?
No,
to
I'm not
actually
doing this.
cook something and you go,
you know what?
I can't wait that long.
It's a Sunday. Football's on. I'm starving. I go and I'm like, oh, Marie Callender's pot pie. Put in the oven at 450 for 3.5 hours. I'm like, oh my God, I should have started playing this when I woke up.
Microwave for 8 minutes, and it's going to be terrible.
Terrible.
Or
Or
put it in the oven for
3.5 hours, and you're good. Oh my Lord.
and then wait 10 minutes for it to cool off before
Oh,
you eat
yeah,
it
you
because
can't eat it.
you're going to kill yourself if you try to dig in. You're so hungry.
You're so hungry. You smell it.
You've waited forever for this thing to be done, and it says, don't eat it yet because you're going to burn yourself.
I have not joined the air fryer craze. I know, Paulie, you guys have one. We have a Tavala. Hannah swears it's also an air fryer, but I'm not for sure if it is or not. I can never get anything to cook in it. Don't know how long to do it. So I just end up eating. If I do eat something like that, if I eat a frozen burrito from Trader Joe's, it's just cold in the middle, burnt on the outside. It's just terrible.
I'm a big fan. We've got one. I don't use it much, but my kids know how to use it, and now I can buy them like those Delimex taquitos.
Oh, the taquitos.
And they throw them in the air fryer, and they actually
How long
do
do
get
they
crispy.
take?
About 8 minutes.
That's not
Frozen,
bad.
from frozen in the air fryer, like 400,
And they're crispy,
and they're
perfect.
crispy when they come out. It's pretty genius.
Okay.
It's an actual good invention of the last 10 years. I mean,
What fries it?
what it really is a small convection oven. If you ever heard of a convection
I've
oven,
heard
it
of it, but I don't-
circulates air
Okay.
around it, which causes more, crispiness than a normal even oven. Certainly much more than a microwave oven.
When I heard the air fryer craze, I thought I'm legitimately a moron. I'll admit that. I thought it was like you had to have like hot oil in your kitchen.
deep
and
fryer.
like you drop mozzarella sticks in there for lunch or something. But I'm like, I don't want
The
that.
cleaning of the fryer, you never want your own fryer. That's too
No,
much
a
work.
real fryer.
Yeah,
that's
Shelley
terrible.
has to clean the fryer at the Siegel. It's awful.
It's horrible.
Awful. You don't want a real fryer.
I've done it. It's
You cleaned
like,
a fryer
oh,
before?
absolutely.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've worked.
Which
in
job was that?
Many a kitchen. That was at a place called Hudson's Grill. Terrible. Terrible, terrible.
Drain the oil.
Drain the
clean
oil.
it out. Not something I
Skim
ever
it.
want to get doing.
My high school had a
Horrific.
deal with the Seattle Mariners where clubs and sports teams of the high school could sign up to man the grill
Yeah.
at a game.
At a game.
And you'd make each kid would make $150 towards new uniforms
Yeah.
or something. So you'd get 6 kids, 6 parents, and run the booth. And so I did that a ton. And yeah, that cleaning that crap was disgusting.
It's nasty, dude.
Major League
Nasty
Baseball
work.
made a
Sludge.
announcement yesterday. Something new, a new initiative that's coming up here in just a couple of months. We'll tell you about it. We'll play a little real or fake
Real or
on a
fake
Throwback
today.
Thursday coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan. I almost feel like it's begrudging when I concede that Major League Baseball comes up with a decent idea, but I think they did.
It is that way, Benny. That's a good.
I want to look for this is what are you doing? Don't mess with stuff.
Thanks a lot,
Don't
Rob
come up with
Manfred.
new ideas. We don't need. It's baseball. Stop trying to tinker with things. Honestly, I think what they announced yesterday, pretty decent idea. Welcome back. It's Ben and Woods, hour number 2. Final week of our broadcast year leading up to our holiday extravaganza next Wednesday. But yesterday, Major League Baseball said they will start something called the Spring Breakout. It's even a good name for it.
That's a great name.
That during spring training, there will be special games that are usually paired. I think they're going to mostly be doubleheaders with like the normal game that day, the Major League Spring Training game.
Okay.
And then they're going to play a prospect game. And the top prospects from one organization are going to go up against the top prospects from another organization. And every team, all 30 of them, is going to have one of these spring breakout games. And the reason for it is to have a better showcase for young players. Learn about young players sooner, get fans more into the minor league systems, the prospects that are coming up, the future stars of the game. They do the futures game at the All-Star, but that's one day a year, and that's one star, one star from every organization gets into the game. This will be every single farm system will have a team of, 20, 25 guys that get to play against the best 20, 25 prospects
Pretty sick,
of another organization. Now, for the Padres, they're going to play the Mariners' best prospects on March 15th. It's not a doubleheader because the Padres' final spring training game in Arizona is actually March 13th, and then they're off to Korea. Most teams will still be there and playing games. These will all take place between March 14th and 17th of this year, the new spring breakout series.
So it's not like a tournament or anything
I don't
like
think so.
that.
I think they're just one game each.
One game each.
Yeah,
That's
with
pretty
the top
cool.
prospects. But
that's pretty cool.
I think they're, either televise them or stream them where you can watch and follow along and see some of these guys. Now, they get into spring training games.
Sure.
We'll see a lot of the Padres' top prospects playing with the Padres throughout spring training. You'll see Jacob Marcy and Graham Pauley and probably some of the pitchers. Ethan Salas got up last year as 17-year-old or 16-year-old. Now as a 17-year-old, he'll be back in Major League camp for sure. But this is an actual game for them, with all the deep top prospects all together on the field at the same time, which you don't really ever get to see. They usually play these games on the backfields. Like, if you go way out, if you've ever been to Peoria at the sports complex, they have the Major League, they have the stadium, and then they have the Major League fields where, the Padres big leaguers will do most of their workouts that are right there. But if you walk back to the kind of corner of the complex, there's this like diamond of 4, like a clover, where there's some stands in the middle and then 4 different fields that branch out in all directions. And you'll have, AAA, AA, single A, rookie ball players all out there working out, through March and even into April. But this will be a chance for them to get into the stadium in front of fans and have a real game during spring training.
I think it's a really, really great idea. I'm trying to figure out, man. Hannah just texted me the other day and said that, who else is playing in Peoria this year, Ben? The Savannah Bananas.
Oh.
And she secured some tickets. So we're going to, I hope I didn't just blow a surprise if my kids are listening. But there's a decent chance I'm in Peoria 3 times in like 6 weeks, which is, we're bordering on Sammy Levitt territory at that point.
Okay, hang on. You and I will be out there the 3rd week of January.
Correct.
All 3 of us will be out there.
Fantasy camp.
Fantasy camp. We don't have the dates yet for spring training.
Nope.
If I had to ballpark it, I'd say the 21st through the 24th,
Right.
something
Let's
around that
ballpark.
range.
So after,
February.
Right.
And then when's the game?
The 17th of February.
Oh, so you'll be out there like the week before.
Yeah, I'm going to live, and I'm just going to get an Airbnb out there and just stay for a couple of months out in Peoria. But I'm excited about that, and I know the kids will be too. But, there's a lot going on out there and a lot going on in Major League Baseball, Benny. But not a lot going on right now with our beloved San Diego Padres. In fact, Alex in the chat said, still nothing with the Padres. And they said, no, we're talking air fryers right now. So, if that gives you any indication of just what's going on.
It's the hot stove league. I mean,
yeah, the air fryer league. That's true. That's true. Just not sure what is happening. The other thing, too, is Mike Schilt, I believe, was hired 3 weeks ago, right? And I'd seen a buddy point this out on Twitter. There's still no staff around him yet? Does that?
Well, there's some staff. The guys who
Guys
are
that were
coming
coming back
back,
already.
but I don't think we've heard any new hires for Mike Schultz coaching staff yet.
Yeah.
He said, I remember him saying that they were going to do some of that work at the winter meetings
Okay.
and talk
Those
with
have
some
passed.
candidates, but those are now over a week old.
Do they need me?
I don't know.
I haven't heard from them. Happy to do it.
Adjunct associate bullpen coach Stephen Woods.
Cleaner upper, whatever they need. I would like, we need something. Not we, the Ben and Woods show, but like we, the collective San Diego, we need something. Do you feel also, somebody made they had an interesting question on Twitter about the Padres. Do you feel like the next move, whatever it is, player-wise, does that point you in the direction? Does that give you any indication on the direction that they're going? If it's
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, it does.
I mean, assuming that we all agree that the Padres are working with some sort of budget this offseason, we don't know what it is, but we all are pretty sure there is some sort of budget. If they sign Cody Bellinger next, then they're probably not doing a ton else, and they're playing a lot of young guys. If they sign, I don't know, some reliever from the Mexico that we haven't heard of for a $6 million deal, then okay, AJ is looking under rocks everywhere to try to find some talent that's under the radar, and is probably going to sign 4 or 5 of these guys to fill out his roster that way. So in that sense, yeah, I think the next move does give you a little more of an indication as the direction that the Padres are going.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, has AJ decided on that?
I don't
Again,
know.
AJ is a guy who has multiple branches of plans, and perhaps he's trying to figure out, all right, what is my next move is a big one because it kind of takes us down one path or another, and you want to make sure you get it right. So
I like the idea of lying in the weeds. I do like the idea of that. I like the idea of A.J. Preller lying in the weeds with a pocket full of money. I don't like the idea of A.J. Preller lying in the weeds with, lint in his pockets, not really able to do anything. But the idea that I'm waiting and I'm calculating and I'm surveying what's happening. I've got my eye on guys other guys don't. I've got a couple of trade proposals potentially brewing with some other teams. I like that idea. I just want some sort of assurance that things are going to start happening.
All right, I will give you some assurance.
Give me
here.
some.
By the time we get to spring training, there will be a full coaching staff in place, and the Padres will have enough players on the roster to
fill
field
the
a
Major
team.
League Baseball team?
Yes.
Well, then I'm going to take off, and I'll see you guys at spring training. Because this is driving
Other than that,
mental.
I can't tell you much, but I can tell you that. I need a contestant for real or fake. This is a chance for all you non-musically inclined Tier 1s to qualify for our grand prize trip to Las Vegas in our contest. 833-288-0973 if you want to join us right now. 833-288-0973. You're going to play here in a couple of minutes. A little bit of baseball news this morning, not much. This is another Dodgers story, of course.
Shocking.
Clayton Kershaw was on the radio and said he was still in the process of discussing where he will play next season.
It's a nice get for them.
Now, Andrew Friedman said last month that they absolutely want Kershaw back, and the ball is squarely in his court to decide what he wants to do. Now, Clayton Kershaw is not going to be able to pitch until at least, they say, the middle of the season as he recovers from shoulder surgery. So he's not like under some crunch that he's got to be ready to show up at the start of spring training. He can kind of wait around and figure out what's best for him, but he has not decided whether he's coming back, whether he's going back to the Dodgers. I know people sometimes say he can go back to Texas, where he's from, and perhaps pitch for the Rangers. But right now, he says, I've made no decisions, just still trying to figure out what I'm going to do next season. 35 years old, but obviously a lot of innings on that arm over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Has been deteriorating over the last several years.
I welcome him back with open arms to the Los Angeles Dodgers of L.A. Open arms. Would love to see Kershaw back. It's only fitting, right? You have to. You can't let that guy. Isn't he one of those guys
I know
that you
what
can't
you're doing.
let walk?
You want Dave Roberts to feel like he has to use Clayton Kershaw in a big playoff game, and that will cost them.
No, he's a legend. And he came up how do you let...
You love to see guys stick with one team.
Of course
forever.
I do, Paulie. What am I, a monster?
I'm with you. I get it.
How would you even consider letting him walk out the door?
As over the hill as he seems, went 13-5 with a 2.46 last year.
Do his postseason next.
I know it's not as good.
You gotta keep him. You got to.
I mean, would any team ever go, yeah, we'll happily sign you for the regular season. We'll enjoy that 2.5 ERA. You're not even on the postseason roster.
Yeah.
We're not going to even take a chance.
No, he's a Dodger. You gotta bring him here. Or not here. You gotta keep him there. For sure.
Look at those callers. Everyone wants to play real or fake today. Let's pick someone and get to it.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. You can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
All right, we are trying to qualify another listener for our December grand prize getaway to Las Vegas. 2 nights at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino, dinner at Edge Steakhouse, and 2 tickets to Barry Manilow at the International Theater. Enjoy Copacabana, Mandy, Can't Smile Without You, Showmanship. It's all Barry Manilow. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Oh, look at all these callers. Let's go with Jose. You are up today on Real or Fake. Hello, Jose. How are you?
What's going on, guys? I'm awesome today.
Good, man.
I love your show.
Thank you.
I'm a first-time caller.
Yes.
I listen to you guys every single morning.
Thanks so much.
I love it.
Appreciate
All right, well, I'm cheering for you. You need to get 4 out of 7 right here on Real or Fake
Get
to
this
qualify.
man to Barry Manilow.
And you can ask Woods
Hey.
for help. I think he should be very
Woodsy?
helpful.
Yeah, buddy.
Today.
I'm gonna rely heavily on you.
Oh,
Okay.
So,
This is actually a very timely category based on the conversation we just had. As we know, the Padres are going to need to rely more on their minor league pipeline in the next few years. So it makes sense for us to get more familiar with the team's top prospects. Today on Real or Fake, I will give you a name. You need to tell me if it's a real top 30 prospect in the Padres minor league system right now,
Okay.
or if it's a fake, in this case, a less famous member of a well-known boy band.
Okay, perfect.
So, real
Sounds good.
Padres prospect, fake boy band member. Jose, are you ready to play?
I'm ready to play.
All right, round 1. Here we go. Garrett Hawkins, real or fake, Jose? And again, you can ask Woods for help.
I want to start with a win, so I'm gonna go with Woodsy. What do you think, Woodsy?
Are you going to go with me?
Yeah, Padres prospect or boy band member. Garrett Hawkins.
I'm going to say it's a real prospect.
He says real. Jose, you going to go with Woods?
I'll go with Woods.
He is correct. Right-handed pitcher, number 23 prospect on the MLB.com list. That is 1 for you, Jose. All right, let's go. Round number 2. Kevin Richardson, Jose, real or fake?
The problem with boy bands is they don't use their real name. So, I'll go with real.
Too late.
Oh no!
Woods, would you like to enlighten Jose?
He was
Yeah,
in.
who's that?
He was in the Backstreet Boys. He had a
I believe he
creepy,
founded them, actually.
creepy
Yeah.
mustache.
Kevin Richardson, Backstreet Boy. All right, yes, that's all right. We got plenty of time left. Round number 3. Jeff Timmons. Real or fake, Jose? Jeff Timmons.
Yeah, Tim.
Real Padres prospect or fake boy band member?
What do you think, Woodsy?
God dang it, dude. I am unfamiliar with Jeff Timmons as a Padres prospect. I'm going to have to say fake.
Let's go
Jose,
with fake.
you going with fake?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 98 degrees. Jeff Timmons. All right, that's 2 for Jose. Let's go to round number 4. Chris Kirkpatrick, real or fake? Padres prospect. Chris Kirkpatrick, Jose.
I'm gonna go with real.
No, it's fake.
Woodsy knows his boy band members.
Woodsy loves boy bands.
Apparently, I do.
Chris Kirkpatrick was in Sync. Yes. All right, we're 2 and 2. Coming to round 5. Let's go with Sean Stockman, Jose. Real or fake? Sean Stockman.
What do you think, Woodsy?
I think that's a real prospect.
I'm getting them all wrong.
I think that's a real prospect.
What do you say, Jose?
Let's go real.
No, Sean was one of the Boys to Men.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we need to get these last 2 right.
I don't
here.
even consider them
All
a
right,
boy band, even though
I know.
boys is in their name.
Ben, Ben, make it a little
All
easier.
right, here we go. All right, I think Wood should get this one. Round number 6.
Justin
a must
Timberlake.
win. Jagger Haynes, real or fake, Jose? Jagger Haynes.
He's a real prospect.
All right, let's go with real.
Sounds very musical, doesn't
does.
he? Jagger
Try to
Haynes. He's a
throw it.
left-handed pitcher, number 29 prospect in the Padres system. So, once again, for like the 19th
Seventh, yep.
consecutive Thursday, it comes down to round 7.
Make it an easy one. Let's go.
For all the marbles, here we go. Blake Dickerson. Real or fake
Blake
Padres
Dickerson.
prospect? I just saw an ugly
I
face
did not
from
like
Woods.
the look on his face, Jose.
I don't know. Oh, come on, Jose.
That sounds like a freaking. That sounds like a prospect to me.
Blake
dude.
Dickerson.
Oh no. I don't know.
Let's go with Woodsy.
He doesn't know.
I
What's
don't
the answer,
know.
Jose?
That's prospect real.
He says real,
He said
Jose.
he-
What do you go with?
I'll go with real.
Number 19 prospect, left-handed pitcher, Blake Dickerson, and we got a winner today. Jose, thank you for being a first-time
I'm
caller.
sweating right now,
Thank
dude.
you for
Holy
being
cow.
a listener, and congratulations. Put you to the drawing for the getaway to Las Vegas. Woo! I wanted him to win so badly
I did
after
too,
that,
man. First
after
time
that
caller.
introduction right at the beginning.
You want to leave him with a good taste in his mouth. So holy cow! All right, Blake Dickerson, welcome to the big squad. Oh, thank you, Jose.
There you go. All right, let's get to Don't Do This coming up next. How about this? When you are making, I don't know, $40, $50 million a year as a professional athlete, there's a few things you shouldn't do anymore.
Fair enough.
And we saw one of them last night take place. We will get to that coming up next with Ben and Woods back after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. Stories that make you shake your head, and then we'll get to something good here at the end, especially during the holiday season. But you would think after, 20 years as head coach of the Patriots, that the reporters in New England would at some point just give up on trying to ask.
Is this guy's first day on the job?
It's not just one. It's three different people trying to get Bill Belichick to answer a question that you know he's not going to answer. You know he's not going to answer. There are reports out that Robert Kraft has already made his decision, that Belichick is out one way or another at the end of the season, that he is coaching his final games. Obviously, Patriots aren't going to the playoffs.
Reportedly made it like a month ago.
Yeah, so this is it. This is the swan song, and of course, reporters want to dig into that. Maybe get a little emotion from Belichick, get some final thoughts on everything that's gone on and taken place. So he's doing his normal coach press conference, his Wednesday presser yesterday at the podium, and you've got the questions being fired at him, and here was Bill Belichick's very predictable answers.
Bill, I wanted to ask you a question, speaking obviously for yourself and your understanding. Do you have an understanding that Robert will not ask you to be back next year?
Yeah, getting ready for Kansas City.
Oh, God.
Move on. It's over. Move on.
Outside of all the rumors, do you want to keep coaching? Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, I'm getting ready for Kansas City.
Oh, God. All right.
Certainly a third one won't ask it.
Couldn't do it 3 times.
Bill, while understanding that you're getting ready for Kansas City, have you and Robert discussed your future beyond the season?
Getting ready for Kansas City.
Jesus, dude. Holy cow.
As though saying, hey, I understand you're getting ready for Kansas City, so you can't say that now because I know that.
I'm out.
Now I'm going to ask my question and get an answer out of you.
I remember I asked.
Understanding that you're getting ready for Kansas City, Bill. What do you think about not being back as the head coach of the Patriots?
I remember asking
getting ready for Kansas City.
AJ a question and him literally pulling a Belichick and going, we're on to Cincinnati. Like, I think we were playing the Reds. Like, we're getting ready for the Reds now. So, we're doing this. This is what we're doing now. We're going full Bill Belichick, Mr. President.
Now, Bill is Bill, and you got to be yourself. But if you are truly still wanting to coach, and it's not going to be with the Patriots, do you have to try a little bit at some point?
No.
Or do you think that whoever wants you wants the Bill Belichick
Correct.
that is on to Cincinnati and getting ready for Kansas City?
Yeah, no, you don't have to try it all.
You don't have to try it all.
Your resume speaks for itself, I think.
Just wondering.
This was a really crazy story with a fairly innocuous reason, I guess. Last night, Giannis Antetokounmpo had a monster game for the Milwaukee Bucks. Ben, 64 points in a 140-126 win over the Indiana Pacers. After the game was over, cameras caught him sprinting off the court after a Pacers assistant coach grabbed the game ball and started walking to the locker room. Giannis wanted the ball back. Now,
I saw the video. It was wild.
I thought it was
he had to be like kind of held back.
He was held back.
He
was restrained.
He was yelling at assistant coaches, and then he just bolted for the Pacers locker room through the tunnel.
It's never a good look. It's never a good move. But you don't know, like, oh crap, what did they say? Like, what did they do that got under his skin so
like,
badly?
You see when a fight happens on the court and it spills into the tunnel, and there's a camera guy, and you see somebody running towards the locker room like he wants more. It kind of looked like that. I was like, what the hell is going on?
What is happening? So he runs in, and after about a minute, he comes back on the court. They're still trying to calm him down. So apparently, they have a rookie there that plays for Indiana, Oscar Tshiebwe. And Oscar scored his first professional NBA point last night against Giannis's Bucks. Sort of. He got one in the tournament, but this is the one that will count toward the NBA statistics.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, he scored one in
tournament games are regular
season
games.
They are, but he scored in the championship because it's the Pacers and they play the Lakers, and technically that one won't go on his basketball card because the stats from that game didn't count. So this is the first.
So did that game count for the Lakers, or did they play 8 in the Pacers? Or
no,
did
they'll
they
play 83 games.
Okay.
They're going to play 83 games. Those two teams. That one game
does not count. So he gets his first point. So obviously you want to get that ball. Giannis had a really good night. I think he set a Milwaukee Bucks record with 64.
Yeah.
Apparently he's a big ball collector and collects a lot of balls after he has a good game. And he was livid about it and ran in. And then Rick Carlisle, the Pacers head coach, said, what happened was unfortunate. There was a misunderstanding about the game ball. It was Oscar's first NBA point, so we always get the game ball. We're not thinking about Giannis's franchise record, so we grab the ball. A couple minutes later, several other players ended up in our hallway. There's a big fracas, melee, whatever. I don't think any punches were landed, but my GM got elbowed in the ribs by one of their guys. He has a bruised rib. Who knows if it's anything more than that?
Now, if Manny Machado was at the game, he would have switched out the balls and tossed it into the crowd.
Yeah, throw it in the crowd. It's a great bit that they do.
The bit that they always do on the first hit. Here's my problem with Giannis. I actually think he's got a decent argument that he probably deserves the ball even more than Oscar Tshiebwe does. It was a huge game. I think it was the most points ever scored by, like in the three-point era, by someone without a three-pointer.
Yeah, with no three-pointers.
Like Michael Jordan never scored more than 69 in a game. 64 is big.
It's huge.
When you're making over $45 million a year, you're the face of one of the faces of the NBA. You handle this behind the scenes. You say a word to one person.
Drop an email to the PR staff.
You let someone on your staff know, hey, can you go take care of this for me? I would like that ball, and can you figure out a way that we can get that?
So
also,
he did get a ball, though, Ben.
Well,
so he got a ball.
Do they use just one ball the entire game in the NBA?
Fascinating question.
There's got to be multiple game balls that you can keep. And then
when do they switch them out?
Does anybody really even know? I mean, they all look the same.
I guess it wouldn't surprise me if they only used one.
It would surprise me.
They don't go flying into the crowd.
But sweat, sanitary reasons.
I mean, do they just flatten a little bit, like the second half? They'll bring in a new ball from the first half, just so it's a nice, fresh.
There's one guy with one ball pumping it up in the sun. He says
it's a needle in there.
Yeah, the needle. You got to lick the needle.
Do they have a better way to do it now? Do NBA teams have some device that they automatically fills it to exactly the right?
Yeah, an air pump.
PSI.
Yeah. Just saw a commercial on the TV behind you about a minute ago it would look like a power drill, and it had the attachment for
inflating,
and it works for the thing.
So Giannis says it doesn't feel like yes, I have a ball, but it doesn't feel like the game ball to me. It feels like a brand new ball. I can tell. I played 35 minutes, and I know how the game ball felt. The ball I have, which I'll take, give it to my mom. But I don't know if it's actually the game ball. You'll be fine!
I wonder how many of those game balls, the baseballs, everything, are real, and how many of them are just
real or fake.
Oh, we lost it. Just grab one. No one will know. They're all exactly the same. That's the thing. They're exactly the same.
It's kind of a baby move, I thought. And I love Giannis. He's amazing.
That was weird, though. All right, finally a little do this.
Mega do.
Congratulations. San Diego FC has their very first player. Which is a little early, given they don't have any games until 2025. But yesterday they signed a local kid, Duran Ferri, goalkeeper from Del Norte High School, who was already on the Loyal before and is kind of one of the young up-and-coming goalkeepers, going to be a developmental player. He's going to be, I guess you can sign players early when they're kind of under 18 and for the developmental squad. He'll be loaned out next year like they do in soccer. We don't get that in baseball or basketball where you can loan out a player to another team, but they do that in soccer all the time. So he'll continue to develop somewhere else until 2025 when San Diego FC actually begins their games. They can start signing senior league players in 2024, and there'll be an expansion draft probably next November after the next season.
How did the local news handle this? I mean, the first signing was a local kid. I mean, did the newsroom explode? Or?
No, I mean, I put it on our Sportscast last night. We did a feature on him last year when he was on the Loyal, so I had some video.
There's a local SEAL. Peyton Ruzeka.
Yeah, I saw that.
Local kid.
Yeah, there's not a lot of local lacrosse players.
Well,
so.
There are, but they not in the.
But no, I saw. I followed Duran on Twitter. He already followed us, I think. So I think he's a Padres fan. So good. You got someone to cheer for already.
Hell yeah!
San Diego FC.
Welcome to the squad. It's a good way to get in good with Manny, right? You're the first guy. You already know, I'm going to be homies with Manny Machado because he's part owner of the team. Very, very good. Good news.
That's Don't and Do this for a Thursday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. Woodsy says, let's take some calls. 833-288-0973. It's holiday season. We're all obviously all concerned about what are the Padres going to do here. If you've been holding your thoughts, now is the time to share them.
You know what's weird,
with the
man?
class.
Is Ben talked earlier in the week about the lack. Jim Bowden put that piece out about how really no one's connected to the Padres. There's no smoke even right now.
I was hoping
with
you wouldn't
this
bring
team.
that up because I kind of lit up Jim Bowden for not connecting anyone to the Padres. He's been right on both his signings. He said He said Seth Lugo to the Royals. Got
God,
that
he did,
right,
didn't he?
And then he said Jung Ho Lee to the Giants, and he got that right. I'm going,
Jeez, he's on a
knows,
heater.
Maybe he knows what he's talking about here.
There's just no smoke right now
but
at
if
all.
he's right, that means the Padres get none of the top
20 guys.
free agents or whatever, which is not that's not a great
cool.
sign. We'll get to that coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Apparently, we opened the phones, which I thought would be fun here, but Paul says, first caller wants to light you guys up.
All right, let's go.
833-288-0973. It's Ben and Woods here. Kevin is calling in.
Let us have it.
What don't we know, Kevin?
Okay.
Let me have it.
All right. Lollygaggers. I've got lollygaggers on my radio. Okay?
No one's going to argue
All right?
that, Kevin.
Now, I had to set you straight a couple of months ago on wine.
Oh,
And
yes,
now-
the wine. Yes, Kevin.
What
All
was
right,
the wine?
wine.
reset it again. What was it?
Oh, shoot. What was it? It was the name of the...
Camus.
I can't.
Camus.
Yeah, Camus.
Camus.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
You were one of my favorite calls this year.
My Camus guzzling friends here.
Yeah.
All right. And I say guzzling because I doubt that you even poured into a chalice.
Oh, no.
You most
Straight
likely
from the bottle.
just tilt the bottle back up and
That's right.
have at it.
Is it not in a box for us here, Kevin?
Right. All right, what did we mess
Yeah.
up?
All right. Just because you're a sports talk host, you need to know this. They have backup basketballs.
Okay.
They keep them behind the sports, the benches there where those keepers are and everything.
Yeah. I mean, they've got those racks. I know.
But those are back in the team room and stuff. But they keep 3 or 4 out there. And what happened just recently, a ball was somebody spilled something on the floor because they allow idiots with food and drink on the floor. But that's another story.
It could bounce into someone's
it got
nacho cheese on the sideline.
Exactly. And so they got it all. They wiped it down. They did all this. And then the captains come out and check the ball to make sure they're still comfortable with it. It doesn't have any residue or sticky or whatever.
Yep.
They brought out a new ball. They said, "Here you go. Here's a new ball." And they said, "Nah, we like this one." There's a feel. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
If you've been out on the court, you get a feel for a certain ball. Remember when you were kids, everybody had their own ball, and you bounce them all around until you found one that you liked. And so they do basically the same thing, and they went back to the original game ball. They didn't want to mess up their mojo. And so that's it. So they do keep 2 or 3 balls back
Okay,
there.
Kevin, and how many do they cycle through in a game, though, do you think? Do they roll 2 or 3?
No, I don't think they don't cycle through any. They keep one in play.
But they have backup. I don't think anyone disagree that there was the possibility of having a backup ball, Kevin.
It was more
I
I
was joking about one guy.
How many do they use?
Kevin, can I ask you something before you go?
Is it Camus or
Yes,
Camus?
sir.
And don't take this the wrong way, because I'm all for it. But has anyone
I'm pretty thick-skinned.
Has anyone ever accused you of being a know-it-all, possibly, Kevin?
All right.
No, I can't be a know-it-all because my mother was.
Flip that on Ben, though.
I know. I said I'm all here for it. I mean, the more you know, the better.
Yeah.
And I would love to know it all.
It would be fabulous. I know some things very well, but I know nothing completely.
Kevin, you are an absolutely elite caller. And
Happy
you're welcome
holidays
anytime.
to you.
Happy
Yes.
holidays.
Thank you, Kevin.
Appreciate you very
All
much.
right, that's a high bar to me.
Bro, I was scared for a second. Paul's like, hey, this guy wants to light you guys up. I'm like, oh, no, what did we do?
All right, if you want to follow up, Kevin, our phone lines are open. 833-288-0973. We'll go right back out after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Vicki Pepper.
This report brought to you by Belmont Park's Winter Wonder. 15 north at Miramar Way, still got this car fire on the shoulder. Smoke is causing visibility issues for all lanes. You're at a standstill from the 8, gonna set you behind by about an hour. 125 north at Lemon, a motorcycle leaking oil in the center divider. And 5 north at the 15, a wreck involving a semi on the shoulder. You're jammed from East Street. It's time for Winter Wonder at Belmont Park, where traditions are born and memories are made. Let over 1 million lights guide you through the park to the highly anticipated decorations. Join us through the end of the year for an especially bright celebration at Belmont Park's Winter Wonder. I'm Vicki Pepper with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Tier 1s, here's your chance to join us, 833-288-0973. You are the best, and I will explain why here in a second as I remind everybody that our 5th annual Ben and Woods Christmas and Holiday Extravaganza is coming up this next Wednesday, the 20th. And during said extravaganza, we'll be giving away $1,000 gift cards to help local families in need buy some extra gifts for the holidays. You can nominate a family that you know that may have had a tough year by going to 973thefan.sd.com/holiday. Put in your your reasons and the name. Give us an email address so we can contact them. And we're going to be giving away $1,000 gift cards, courtesy of our sponsors, Padilla Law Group, San Diego's father-son injury law firm. Visit PadillaLawGroup.com. Thank you, Jeff Padilla. The San Diego Seals. Get your tickets now at SealsLAX.com. Swami's Cafe, a spot to dine and unwind, and 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown. But the Tier 1s are chipping in with their own. They've already raised over $1,000 for a gift card and working on a second one. Have they gotten to two now?
It's $2,000.
$1,000 gift cards raised by Tier 1s that will be given as well on Wednesday. So thank you all so much. Take a bow as you call in right now, 833-288-0973. We got Greg on the line. Good morning, Greg. Welcome to Ben and Woods.
Good morning, guys. I want to talk a little bit about the Padres and sort of where they're at and where they need to get to. Number one, the fact that it's been super quiet, especially under A.J. Preller, tends to bode well for the Padres.
Potentially.
You don't hear a lot on the rumor mill that the Padres are doing. It tends to come out of nowhere, and especially the big deals. At least that's a pattern I've kind of seen over the last few years. So I think that's actually a good thing. Number two, 96, good season for the Padres. 97, not so good. And then 98 happened. I'm hoping last year was the off year, and then all of a sudden we're the proverbial Diamondbacks of next year. That's more hope than anything else. But I want to talk a little bit about what they should target with regards to what they currently have on. We all know they need some pitching, they need bullpen, etc. But I also think very strongly that they need a solid first baseman, and Crony isn't it.
Badly.
And I wanted to get your guys' opinion. Also, is Profar under contract with us for next year?
No, he's not.
So we need at least 2 outfielders.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Unless,
like Tommy Pham and Manny Margot.
I mean, name 2 outfielders. Padres need them for sure. The bar is low right now to cross what
realistically
the Padres have in the outfield. Thank you for the call, Greg. I got a tweet yesterday from my colleague at 10 News. I've actually never met him. He's our new CHP officer who does the traffic, Mark Latulip. And he said, I'm a big Cronenworth guy. What about putting him in left field? Ha-Seong Kim can stay at second. See what Jake does at the plate this year. You need the lefty bat and an outfielder. And it really isn't a bad idea. We've discussed it before a little bit.
Normally, that was all. I've been saying that for years. I always looked at him and thought, okay, super sub, Chris Taylor type can go out and do it. Him moving positions last year, he'd never admit it, ever. I think it messed with him. And I think when he was at second, he mashed. It was a short sample size, but he played really, really well and hit really well at second, and not so much at first.
Now, the problem is, and you can think outside the box, and that's fine, but traditionally, first base and left field are offensive positions in baseball. You want guys, you don't need to place a premium on the defense at either of those spots. You want guys who mash. And Jake at first is not your typical offensive first baseman. Jake in left wouldn't be your typical offensive left fielder. Jake at second base, all of a sudden, you go, all right, you're getting good defense. Guy can man second base, and he'll give you something offensively. It doesn't feel that bad. And when he was out there, it was great. At first base, it's a little tougher to swallow. Same problem, though, out in left field.
Same problem. Yeah.
Same problem.
Yeah. I mean, you think about some of the great left fielders of all time. I mean, honestly, like, the defense was suspect at best. Manny Ramirez. Like, you're like, all right, man.
Phillies have Kyle Schwarber.
Play some
at
outfield.
all. I mean,
it's you want mashers out there. Again, I keep hearing the name Jock Peterson. I don't know what he's going to command. Hasn't he been signing 1-year deals between $15 and $20 million every year? I just don't know. I don't know, and I just feel I do like what Greg said though about the quiet. He's right. Most of the deals that have come down since we've been a show, and that's when it really got pretty spicy with the offseason acquisitions, we'd never really connected the Padres to a lot of these guys. You really hadn't. It kind of came by surprise. So maybe that does bode well. That being said, though, in that time frame, Greg, and the other Tier 1s out there, we did have an owner here, Peter Seidler, that had said, I'm spending money. So with Peter not being here anymore, that being up in the air, that's why I think you're getting a little bit of the nervous stomach of, Well, obviously it's not going to be like it was, but what is it going to be? We just don't know.
No.
We just do not know.
Let's go to Oscar. You are next up here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Hey, Oscar.
Hey, it's me, Oscar.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Good morning, guys.
Good.
It's you.
Doing good. Happy holidays. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just wondering, I know when the baseball classic comes here, we have a lot of country players that are very good. Has the Padres thought about ever getting anybody overseas?
Yeah, they do it all the time.
They got guys from overseas.
I mean, other than Korea, that's all I hear about with Kim. But I know some guys in Italy that did good last year, or Venezuela.
Trust me,
And
if they've played, he's seen them.
Yeah,
at some point.
AJ Preller scouted him out there. He spends a lot of time in Japan, Korea. He got Robert Suarez from Mexico. Had not played a lick in Major League or minor league baseball.
From Japan.
Yeah, he's found more than a few overseas prospects. Plus, all of the international signings every year. Ethan Salas from Venezuela is now top prospect in the system. Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they do their homework outside the country. There's
For sure.
You can accuse the Padres of some things that you don't like. Not doing their homework outside the country is not something you can accuse
In fact,
AJ
their
Preller
scouting
of.
department, from what I know and have heard, they're often out of the country.
Yeah. They're not in town.
They all have the TSA, global entry, whatever they need, because they're doing it a lot.
The camera is very blurry, by the way. I don't
Is
know
it?
why. Yeah, sorry. You
Or
can
is
watch
it-
us. You can watch us on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, blurry.
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry. I don't know how to fix that. I do know how to go to, let's try Ricky. Ricky, you're next up with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Good. So I was just calling to say, too, that they're saying, Cronenworth in left field, but to remember to start the season, Manny won't be there, so Kim's going to be playing third, I believe, and Cronenworth at second, and then you're still going to have a hole at first base.
So
we thought that.
We thought that. And it still may be the case. We don't know yet. There's no
That was the original diagnosis, though.
As are most things with the Padres right now, a bit cloudy, much like Ben's camera. Manny may be ready at the beginning of the season. He may not.
We've gotten one nugget. It was that Manny is at or ahead of schedule, is ready to start baseball activities.
Well, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And could even be ready to start going to the start of spring training, much less the end of spring training, which is when you'd need to be ready to start third base.
Yeah, correct. So I don't know that that's necessarily the case, but you do have Eggy Rosario. Matt Batten is not an answer really, but if you did want to commit to moving Cronenworth around, moving Kim, or keeping Kim at second, you do have some options, as it were. But I don't know. Again, and it also depends on the guys that they go out and sign. If they go out and sign anyone, we'll be the first to let you know as soon as we know. But there are some options there. They're not particularly mind altering. They don't make.
I don't know that you're tailing your off season though around Manny might be down for a couple of weeks as a DH.
Right.
You're planning for 162, not what happens the first couple of weeks. If Manny's out for longer or can't play third base for an extended period, you got bigger problems than just that then. Now this is an issue because you need Manny and Tatis and Bogaerts all to have really good seasons next year if you're going to hope to take that step up. So
Guzzinator says, have we thought about Cambodian baseball players? And I'm sure they have. I'm sure they absolutely
If
have.
anyone has scouted...
Or Scandinavian. Yeah, I guarantee you that they have.
Somebody in the chat earlier said San Diego FC has signed more players than the Padres. And I can't disagree with that.
I do have one bit of good news.
What's that?
I have fixed the blurriness on my camera through the power of positive thinking.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't do anything, but
And
now
it's fixed.
I'm not blurry anymore.
Good. Close some of those things that you have open over
Technology is great. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, I don't...
Get off those dirty websites, Ben.
I do not know. So, yeah. Lukey says, give Manny a full DH year. Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The guy's literally one of the best third basemen of all time. You want him at third. It's not going to be an option. He's the thing that you pray about for Manny is that if he comes back, are you ready to go? If you need to DH till you get ready.
I'm optimistic. I think the Padres can very well have a good season next year. It's hard to envision it though with Manny or Tatis or Bogart's having a really down year.
100%.
Like,
You
as
need
bad
them
or
all to
worse
play
than
great.
last year. They all need to have, I'm paying you $30 million seasons.
Yeah.
Which they should, because they get paid $30 million to do that, to have really good seasons. You don't worry about them, and you try to fill around them. So that's kind of where I'm at. We still got some phone callers out there, 833-288-0973. We've got some Seals tickets to give away coming up. Stay tuned. More Ben and Woods ahead on 97.3 The Fan. We'll be right back.
All right, my friends, we are halfway home on a Thursday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Really, really appreciate you being here. Appreciate your loyalty, all of that. We got our Christmas and holiday extravaganza coming up next Wednesday. Going to be a total S show. It usually is. We're going bigger. We're going badder. We're going better. All of the B's. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Oh, the extravaganza.
Oh, I can't wait. I get so excited.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, it really
Let's
is.
not get ahead of ourselves, though, because before the extravaganza, in fact, tomorrow at this very time, 8 a.m. tomorrow, Friday, we are scheduled to be joined by one of the newest members of the San Diego Padres. Kyle Higashioka is going to be with us.
Why doesn't he go by Higgy?
I mean, his Twitter handle is the Higster. Higgy may not have been available. That was possibly just what he could get.
I'll ask him
when he
his
signed
nickname. I did a deep dive last night on his walk-up songs. He has the potential to be my favorite Padre. He has elite walk-up music. Tool. I know that he shreds guitar. This is a dream for me. We'll be talking. Could you not talk and just let me do it? Is that an option?
Yes. Yeah. If you want to go that direction, I will sit
That's
back
never
and I
happened
will.
on this show.
I'll enjoy your conversation.
And I'm just joking. We should come up with a game. Higgy v. Higster. Something. We'll come up with something for spring training. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to talk to him. He's got, and the cool thing is the 4 guys that came over with him. I'm imagining he's caught every single one of them and can give everybody a really good insight as to what we're looking at with the guys that we added. So guy caught 2 perfect games or 2 no-hitters.
Yeah,
2
one perfect game and one no-hitter.
Pretty cool stuff. So I'm excited to talk to him. Obviously want to talk to him about his interests outside of baseball as well, because that's what
you
we
could
do.
just kind of tell he gets it.
He gets it.
He seems like a cool guy.
California dude.
Appreciates, what he's gotten here, appreciates fans, just gets it. And I love to talk to the guys who do get it. They're always the best interview subjects.
No question, man. No question. I'm very excited about that. So stay by the dial for the whole 24 hours. Don't leave your radio.
No.
Just stay right here.
Yeah.
And then
but
tomorrow at this time.
It's supposed to be right around this time tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we will have that for you tomorrow. Very excited about that. Somebody said Jake doesn't get it. Jake gets it really well. Jake's a really good interview. He's a really fantastic interview and has gotten much better over the year.
Jake is very smart.
Very smart dude.
Yeah.
I love talking to Jake. I pull for Jake Cronenworth as hard as anybody. I think he's, when he's at his best, he's a really, really
I think
good ball
there's
player.
There's a misperception. I root for Jake. I love Jake, one of my favorite players on the team. At some point, you do have to be objective, though, in your analysis.
It's tough, though.
I try not to let my fandom, which exists. I am a Padres fan. I've been a Padres fan all my life. But I'd also like to say...
The one guy you could trade would be Jake Cronenworth.
I'd like to think there's also a very part of me that can be objective about it. Critical, analytical... A little cold-hearted at times, because it can be professional sports can be a very cold-hearted business, especially for the successful teams. If you run your team as a fan through sentimentality, what's the old expression? If you
run your team
through
like sentimentality, it will not be good.
No, it's if you act like a fan, you'll soon just be one. If you're a GM and you act like a fan, you're going to be one pretty soon. You can't run a team with sentimentality. You got to make hard decisions. You got to let players go sometimes that you really like and respect the heck out of. And sometimes you do it and people are mad at you about it. But if you only, just reward players because you like them and they've been fan favorites and that's all you do, eventually you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble that way.
Yeah, no question about it, man. It's hard. When you hear GM call when you hear GMs call the guy the player, you hear that a lot. Wow, the player this, the player that, and it's like, oh, it's tough, man, because they are humans, and you want them to do well. If you have a Padres uniform on, I want you to play well. Certainly have my favorites.
I think there's a middle ground between commoditizing them, turning them just into commodities. Player A and player B, and we plug them in. They're people. You have to have some humanity. I think the best executives certainly will have a little bit of humanity toward their players, but you also, we've seen Moneyball. You also have to remember it's a business, and you're going to have to make some hard decisions sometimes. So you got to strike that balance between being the fan and being the executive who sometimes has to do things that not everyone's going to be a fan of.
Yeah, it's not a fun job, man. Unless you're winning, then it's probably a really fun job. I mean, we've talked a lot on this show about the arc of AJ Preller. And at one point, the city was buying T-shirts with your face on it one day. Jake Cronenworth is another. I mean,
not less an arc and more like one of those EKG monitors.
Up and down. Think about Jake Cronenworth and his art. Gets the biggest hit a lot of people have seen, for the San Diego Padres, knocking out the Dodgers, and he's the hero. And
goes
then
from
now
the throw in a trade
to a starter.
At least that's what we thought.
Yep.
To a surprise fill-in at first base for Eric Hosmer.
Plays really well.
To a starter, to an all-star. And then all of a sudden now
80% of the city wants him gone.
A contract albatross for the San Diego Padres. This is a quick arc.
Life comes at you really, really fast. Really, really fast. And I'm not telling you you're paid a guy because of one hit. Fine, that's not his fault. Everybody's signing that deal, right? I don't think that's necessarily on him even at all. But it comes at you fast, man. It really, really does. I heard a coach caller yesterday say that we should trade Manny Machado to the Marlins. It comes at you fast. Try to be objective. But you certainly pick favorites. I have a favorite. And I think Kyle Higashioka is going to be a guy that is one of my favorites, just because I like what I've seen so far.
There are also some people in baseball who just don't get it.
Correct.
And the owner of the Arizona Diamondbacks, is that who it was?
Yes.
What's his name?
Ken
Kendrick.
Ken Ken. I don't know where he was yesterday, but he was stopped, by reporters.
It looked like he was like in the stadium.
Yeah, like in a tunnel.
In a tunnel, yeah.
I don't know if they were doing
outside
a holiday
of the
event or what was going on, but yeah, they had camera, microphones in his face, and he was asked for his thoughts on the Dodgers signing of Shohei Ohtani in the division.
Dude.
Yeah,
Ken decided to take the mic, like 8 Mile, and he just went nuts, dude.
He's, as I said and would repeat, he's a great player.
Pause.
Actually,
so he's talking about Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
He's, as I said and would repeat, he's a great player. Actually, I think it's good for us that we get to compete against him. Last I looked, he's 1 of 9. Mm-hmm. And the last I also looked, he's a designated hitter. He's a great player. Is he the second coming?
Oh, God.
Suggest not. Would you like to have a player of that talent on your team? Of course, everyone would. And, we'll have fun competing against him. We already did have fun competing against him, at least the last time we played.
All right.
But he wasn't there, so.
He's, if he had stopped right at the beginning, you were okay. I don't know that, maybe it's the old, let's make ourselves feel better about this situation thing. Coping mechanism. He's just 1 of 9. He's just a designated hitter.
So it's interesting because Dodger fans see it and they flip out, right? Cope harder, old man. I get it. I totally get that mentality. Nothing he said in there was wrong.
True.
Didn't say.
We would say the same thing, by the way. If we signed Ohtani and this audio came out, we'd be like, oh, come on.
Oh, yeah. We'd be like, oh, Cope. 100%. Yeah, no doubt. And I don't blame you for saying Cope because I feel like it is Cope. Now, as far as the second coming goes, now you're going into a whole different realm. Is he the second coming in baseball terms? Yeah, like literally the second coming of Babe Ruth in baseball terms. He absolutely is. Will he be in 2024? No, but they didn't sign him for 1 year. They signed him for 10 years. So if he gets back to doing what he's able to do on the mound, what he's able to do at the dish, He is, in fact, the second coming. Not of Jesus Christ, obviously, but of Babe Ruth, who...
And even then, that's not a fair comparison between Ohtani and Babe Ruth.
No, of course
We talked about
not.
it before. Babe Ruth was an elite pitcher, then became an elite hitter when he stopped pitching.
Correct.
Ohtani's done them both at the same time, back-to-back unanimous MVPs. Like, we've never seen this before. I guess
in baseball terms,
Babe Ruth would be the closest comparison, but it's not that accurate.
In baseball terms, he is, in fact, Ken what? Kennings?
Ken Kendrick.
Ken Kendrick. He is, in fact, the second coming. Maybe even the first.
The first coming
Maybe
of
the
Shohei
first
Ohtani.
coming of Shohei Ohtani. He's right. He is one of 9. You know, the Dodgers, it's not like they have, I saw a guy tweet yesterday about, everyone's surprised the Dodgers are putting together a super team. I'm like, the Dodgers have a super team every year, it seems like. So he is just one of 9. You get him out, you're okay, great. We got him out. We got another, now we get Will Smith
I
out.
made a similar point earlier this week when I said he's still going to make an out 70% of the time, probably at least.
Yep.
He is, he is only going to be adding to whatever J.D. Martinez did as designated hitter for the Dodgers last year, which was already a lot. They got a lot of production out of that spot last year. He'll give you more almost certainly, but it's not like you're going from 0 to 50 home runs. You're only adding. You can only add to your lineup. You can't
33 plus.
You're not just getting an extra player. You always have to replace something that you're adding. So it's not. I don't think the Dodgers are a completely different team with Shohei Ohtani, especially this year because he can't pitch. They're not like they went from, they won 100 games last year, so now they're going to win 127 games this year. They got better, but they're not as different as they're going to be. Now, if he in 2025 is an ace pitcher and he is doing his DH thing and hitting 50 home runs, all right, that is...
I think Ken may eat
that's
his
something.
words.
Yeah,
but
that's something in 2025.
We all, as Padre fans, Diamondback fans, Giants fans, Rockies fans, baseball fans in general, this is a year of reprieve, essentially. I mean, we're going to get a little bit of a reprieve, right? I mean, because he's not going to be throwing against you and hitting against you. So we get a year of, they added a really good designated hitter. So, we'll see. But I thought Ken was visibly upset.
Chris says in the chat, you saying Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
Damn it, Harris. Don't start a holy war, Ken.
Trying to tell me Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
Phenomenal audio. Thank you, Ken.
God.
But I saw Rosenthal had an article yesterday dropped about they did the 12 anonymous sources around baseball. Some people were like, it's genius. One person in baseball, like, this is an effing joke. This should not be effing allowed. This is effing criminal. Alex Rodriguez he was at a symposium or something yesterday and talked a little bit about the haves and have-nots of baseball and how it isn't really fair. But again, they didn't break any rules, didn't break any laws, and he's on their squad.
I got a question.
Ken Kendrick wasn't the only one that had some audio regarding Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if you want to do it here or maybe in the next segment. Will Clark.
Let's tease that.
Oh, my God. Now, this is haterade. This is haterade, for sure.
Will Clark's audio.
Ken Kendrick was copium. This is haterade.
And I want to think about this question.
In the glass bottle.
Because I've seen people bring it up. Did Shohei Ohtani go from the most loved baseball player to a villain by not only signing with the Dodgers, but doing the deferred money thing? How do you think Shohei is going to be received in opposing ballparks going forward?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I want to talk
man.
about this coming up.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to that next. And the Will Clark. Oh, you definitely don't want to miss the Will Clark audio.
It's unreal.
Yeah, that's next. Coming up after a check of traffic here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. This hour of Ben and Woods is brought to you by the Golf Mart.
Love golf. Love the Golf Mart.
So I asked the question, does Ohtani become an instant villain? Dodger, deferred contract. I mean, for some people, any player who's not on their team is a villain.
Sure.
Correct? Yep. But I didn't get the sense that Ohtani was much of a villain with the Los Angeles Angels.
None whatsoever. He was never a threat. Like that. It was because of the team he was on. They're a very. I told you before. I went to one Angels game. It was like the nicest group of people I've ever sat around in my entire life. I was like, this is unbelievable. Clean,
practically Canadian.
Literally, like being in Toronto. It's the Toronto, as many say, Anaheim, the Toronto of California. Many say that. And it was and so you just were like, oh, hell yeah, man. That's great. Like, good for them. Now, when you join the Dodgers, especially here, I think, yeah. And then you hear.
He was never going somewhere where he wasn't going to be a threat, though. And I don't think anyone can blame Shohei Ohtani for wanting to go to a team with more of a chance to win than the Los Angeles Angels. He would have been kind of crazy to stay with the Angels, right?
Yes.
I think so. So if it wasn't the Dodgers, it was going to be the Giants, or it was going to be the Yankees or the Mets or the Blue Jays.
Toronto would have been not
Toronto
a threat.
would have been less threatening to you.
Yeah.
Just because
big
of
time
distance for us. But it would have been way more
different country.
Would have been way more threatening for the Red Sox and the Yankees.
The Orioles.
And, yeah.
For sure.
Teams in that division.
Yeah, we don't care about that.
So, but was he always going to be a villain no matter who he signed with? Is that fair?
No. If he's a Cub, do I think he's a villain? No.
But with the Dodgers, he is.
Yeah, straight up. I went, I don't wish him well. Like I don't know what to say. I'm not rooting for him actively anymore.
But he's not going to be your least favorite Dodger. That'll still be Max Muncy.
Yeah. And Chris Taylor and
Freddie Freeman. Do you like him more or less than Mookie Betts now? Mookie Betts has always been kind of that. Yeah, he's a Dodger, so we don't like him, but otherwise I know we would like him.
I want to hate Mookie very badly. I want to, and it's very,
Is
very...
that how Shohei's going to be? Kind of, you hate him, but it's hard to hate him, or it's easy to hate him?
It's easy to hate him.
I'm
a hater. Haterade.
And we're Padres fans.
Yeah.
Easy to hate any Dodger. Same with Giants fans and ex-Giants as well.
Oh, buddy. Look,
Will Clark.
I know that Will Clark's insane. And I know that a lot of the Padres fan base doesn't like Eric Burns anymore. Eric Burns, I used to love. He had some really nasty things to say about Manny Machado a couple of years ago. I was pretty hot about him. I don't know that he ever walked him back or whatever. I do. There are aspects of both human beings that I appreciate. Eric Burns, I see his clips on Instagram. He's a fantastic father. Like a fantastic father. Legendarily good. He's got a son that plays ball, and it warms my heart every time I see it. I think he went off half-cocked about Manny. I do. But I'm not going to really hold that against him for the rest of his life. He puts out pretty good content. It's fairly interesting stuff.
I don't exactly remember what he said about Manny, but I know he wasn't the only one that felt that way.
It pissed me.
Still feels that way. It sucks.
It pissed me off that time.
Yeah,
because I think we'd had him on the air before, Eric Burns at one time. But all that aside, he does a thing with Will Clark, and he does like a podcast, and I can't remember what it's called, Productive Outs or something. That may be way off. I can't remember what they call it. But Will Clark yesterday was asked the question about what he thinks about Shohei basically not going to the Giants because the offer was the same, allegedly, according to Farhan Zaidi. And this is what Will Clark had to say.
Deuce is wild, by the way.
Deuce is wild. Close.
Podcast.
Productive Outs. Just throw it out there if you don't know.
You almost had it.
Almost had it.
How about spending $70 million for a freaking DH? You think that's freaking good baseball strategy or what? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I feel like we sound a little critical right now, and we're both positive guys.
Let's call it like it is. It's the Dodgers. Them. Let them spend all their money for all I care. They can kiss my ass. They've been beating our asses up and down the last few years. We need to turn this around and beat their asses. There you go.
That's right.
You can post that right there.
We have a green light on that, then we'll post it. Boom.
It sounds like something my 5-year-old would say. They beat our ass. Now we're going to beat their ass.
They started the S. We're going to finish
the
S.
It's Mike Schilt-esque. I laughed incredibly.
Guys, let's call it like it is. It's the Dodgers. them.
That's amazing.
It's
audio.
really, really good. It really
you know,
is.
I don't
Spend all their money for all I care. They kiss my ass.
I don't think I ever knew where Will Clark was from. And I was trying to place his accent. He's from the same region as Brian Kelly, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah. Same as Brian Kelly and his family.
Yeah, his family. That's a New Orleans accent that Will Clark has going on there. But he's a Giant, and, Giants and Padres hate the Dodgers.
So we know that Will Clark is going to boo Shohei Ohtani, and I don't know, man. I don't know if it's easy as I'm sitting here right now saying it. It will be. You obviously get racked with jealousy when you see a guy sign that deal, not because of the length of the deal or the money. It's because he's like, that son of a gun is now deferring, 98% of his money to help the team win, when in reality we'd be jumping up and down, pants off, if it happened for our squad, certainly.
Let's call it like it is. It's the Dodgers. Them. Let them spend all their money.
It's pretty great audio.
There is some sour grapes going on there too.
No question. No, I got some. We all got some. Everybody does. Of course. But the villain bit, he's a very likable guy. Like he's not done anything to make you look at him and go, you're a monster. Like you're a total monster. It's just going to be the fact that he plays for the Dodgers. I hope he never gets a hit against us ever.
Poll up on X right now on our Ben and Woods account. Will you boo Shohei Ohtani now at Padres-Dodgers games? It's only been up for like a minute. We already have 125 votes. Yes, 79.4%. No, 20.6%. Yeah. So 4-1 right now. You can vote the next 24 hours if you want to chime in on the Ben and Woods poll. Right there. I love how many votes we get so quickly.
Justin nails it. He said, "It ain't the man, it's the laundry." That's exactly right, dude. That's exactly right. I will say though that watching my son's reaction, who loves Shohei, and now he was like, "Oh, okay, sucks to suck. I'm not going to be a Shohei Ohtani fan anymore." I mean, I think I'm doing a good job.
Should we have been before though?
Yeah, we should have been.
I don't know.
We should have been. For sure.
There was a chance that the Angels could have been good and met the Padres in a World Series. I mean, there's no law that says the Angels have to be bad. They could have spoiled a lot of dreams out there, and we just weren't worried about it because they were the Angels.
Pretty Lieb on Twitter says, "Don't be tacky. We're better than that, Padres." Mm-hmm. So, what do you don't cheer? Obviously, what do you just sit in silence? If you're not cheering,
quietly appreciate his skill and talent, but hope he doesn't do well against you. I thought the perfect Ohtani series was Padres Angels last year. He went 0 for 10. It
was great.
And they beat him when he pitched. It was great.
Eric says, "Why boo him? Great player, great human. Root against him all you want. Don't pull a Yankees, Mets fan and disgrace baseball." I don't know that booing somebody is a disgrace of baseball. It is literally a right of booing someone is not. No, like you don't get personal. You don't throw things at them.
What was the story recently? Someone was mad that fans were booing.
Greg Popovich, wasn't
right?
it?
Yes, Greg Popovich grabbing
the mic. That was ridiculous.
And saying, "Don't boo Kawhi Leonard." To Spurs fans, we're better than that.
It's like a high school principal taking the mic at a basketball game or something.
The booing thing is always an interesting topic because there are booers, and then there are people that don't boo, and then there are people that go way over the line. When I'm on the mic at the Seals games and I'm doing PA for the Seals when they play, when the opposing team runs out, I have a live mic and I go every time, boo. So I guess I am in fact a booer, but you're not going to catch me at a game really at 48 years old anymore. Boo! It's just not who I am, but I will actively hate you with the fire of 1,000 suns inside my body. That's about all I can do, but I've never really been a booer.
If you want more
You're not a booer.
I'm not a booer. I've booed a couple of times.
Who have you booed?
Ooh. Like this.
Steve Alford.
You have booed him live in person.
I don't know. I was at press row. I can't really boo. I sit in the press box too much to actually boo.
You have to go to games as a fan, I guess.
We'll get a little more of that Giants hate coming up at 9:35. Grant Brisbee is going to join us in 1 hour. Always a great interview, writer for The Athletic. Started with his own blog, though. Was one of the better ones out there, making some waves with his baseball coverage. And Grant is going to join us at 9:35 this morning. Coming up next, though.
Quickly, take here from our pal DJ Iverson. Said, don't boo Ohtani. He doesn't need the motivation. Tommy Pham is a really great example of that. Some guys feed off of it. And I don't know if Ohtani is, but yeah.
I would think he's not. I think he might. I would think if Ohtani gets a lot of boos, it might shake him a little bit.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
He's been doing this.
Yeah, but he's not been booed. Has he ever been booed
probably,
in his career?
Maybe in Japan.
I don't know. I wonder if Shohei Ohtani's ever actually been booed in his life.
Probably. Yeah,
before.
Probably.
I don't know.
Interesting.
All right, when we come back, we've got our look back continuing. We're almost halfway through the year. We'll go back to June and a segment that Woods and Paul put together, and it took them months, and I had no idea what was going on, and it really was a delight. It continues to delight to this day.
It's one of our better bits.
We'll talk about the origins of that. Right now, if you want to win some San Diego Seals, you want to hear Woods boo into a microphone, you can do so at the Seals game. 833-288-0973. Third caller is going to win a pair of tickets to the game against the Rochester Nighthawks on December 29th at Pechanga Arena. Head out to a game yourself. Get tickets at sealslax.com or call now to win them. 833-288-0973. Back next year with more on 97.3 The Fan. Had a couple of interesting takes during the break about our discussion on booing Shohei Ohtani. And I actually thought the interesting ones were the people who believe that booing is not something you reserve for the other team, but it's something to do for your own team when you're mad and disappointed. It's a displeasure with your own organization, with your own players. If you're not seeing what you like, lack of effort, lack of execution.
Have any of you guys ever booed your own team?
Booing. Oh, yeah.
I don't know that I have.
I put it in the chat. I won't really boo them, but I will throw a remote at home and drop an F-bomb or two for sure.
Remember
That's pretty much booing at home.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember being at a game, whether it was an Aztecs basketball game, booing somebody missing a free throw, at a Padres game, booing a guy that boots a ball
or something.
Are you telling me that, let's say you were at the San Diego State football game and they're losing 6-0?
I don't go to San Diego State
Yes,
football
but
games.
if you did, and they were losing 6-0 to a Nevada team that had lost 20 games in a row, and it's the fourth quarter and they haven't scored and they throw an interception, you're not going to boo a little bit? Everyone's
my brother,
everyone's going to boo their home team at some point.
I'm at a San Diego State football game, and you're assuming I stayed into the fourth quarter of a game in which they were losing 6-0 to Nevada.
I think
that would never happen.
All I'm saying is that every fan base has a breaking point where they boo their own team.
Dude, I break all the
when
time.
Things get bad
it doesn't
enough,
manifest
when
itself
things
in
get
boo.
bad enough, you boo your own team. And I think athletes who get it,
I'll curse them up and down, man.
Will say, and we've heard it, yeah, if we're not playing well,
let us have
us.
it.
Let us have it.
Let us have
boo
it.
us.
I heard more boos at Petco Park last year.
Yeah, there were a lot of boos at Petco Park.
Bad play than I had in years
and
previous.
I didn't have a problem with it.
No, I don't either. Do what you
for
want,
the most
man.
part.
Don't throw
I
stuff.
don't necessarily have a problem. I'm just asking if any of us have ever done that.
Don't
I don't think
throw
I
stuff.
have.
Don't cross lines. Family, racial. Don't do that. That I will tell you how to fan. That is a don't do this forever. But getting pissed off and what I really wouldn't do is boo like a player that's in a slump. Like, I'm not going to boo a guy that's 0 for his last 16.
All right, bases loaded. Xander rolls over into a double play.
I'll give you a fresh mother. That's it.
But I've had players that I've disliked on teams that I've cheered for.
Oh, absolutely.
Ray Lankford was a Padre.
You did not like him.
It was not a good Padre. And didn't look like he was trying very hard.
You booed him?
I think at some point, didn't look like he was hustling outfield. Ball falls in front of him. Yeah. Oh, come on. Boo. Everyone has their breaking point.
Even Ben.
Has his breaking point with his own team.
Well, I'd hope not to see it next year. They give us nothing to boo about.
That's the dream.
Nice, consistent season.
That's the dream. All right, we're going to check traffic. When we come back, we dial it back to June in our 2023 rollback with a couple of more great moments from the year that was of Ben and Woods. It's coming up after Vicky's traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Vicky Pepper.
15 north at Arrow, still got this wreck on the left shoulder. You're on your brakes in the 805. 52 west at the 805, a right lane blocked due to a crash involving an overturned vehicle. Eastbound at Convoy, watch out for a mattress in the slow lane. I'm Vicky Pepper with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So something new that we've added here in 2023, we started a YouTube the streaming broadcasts. And as that has developed, we've had great tier ones who have joined as gold members on our YouTube stream. They pay a little monthly fee for that. And one of the things you get is a private Ben and Woods member stream only chat once a month, where during like baseball season, we'd watch Padres games together, and Paulie and Woods and I would shoot the breeze, and you'd have the members in the chat and ask us questions, and you get a little more unfiltered Woods and Paul.
A lot more.
And I'm the same person that I always am, because I just am.
There was that one.
There was that one.
There was the one where you guys made me curse for the first time ever.
Didn't reverse the jinx at all.
Didn't help. I thought it might. It did not. But we had back in June, I think, one of our earlier member streams. We were still trying to figure out a lot of things to go on. Woods was having some technical difficulty. What was going on with this one, Paul?
So if I remember correctly, this was mid-show, mid-stream. Things were working fine, and then you like got up to go take care of the kids or something, and you came back, and you didn't think you could. Your microphone.
You
worked,
thought you
or
couldn't.
your
No one could hear you. You were trying to figure it out.
Definitely had nothing coming out of your AirPods. They were disconnected or something on your end, but your mic still worked. We heard everything. And Ben was just sweet Ben. Just trying
to fill some time while you were gone. You're the time filler
to tell
generally.
A Chargers story.
Yeah.
And
Really
Woods
wanted to get
just
it in.
has no idea. He sees our mouths moving, but he has no idea what we're talking about, and he is just in the blender. This was our members only stream for the month of June.
I actually had a
Audio.
colleague,
AirPods.
She runs the teleprompter on Mondays. And she said something. She's not a sports fan really at all. She says, I watch your highlights of the Padres and just feel so much.
You just hear Woods smacking his
my
keyboard.
computer.
She says, I watch your highlights of the Padres and just feel so much like the Chargers. And you know how they
Now I have it on. Now I have these things off, and
Oh my
it's still
God.
not working.
They're supposed to win. Can you mute him?
I'm telling you, it's not my fault. These damn kids.
Ollie, just
They're
mute
probably
him.
in here messing with something.
He has no idea he's interrupting your story.
But anyway, I thought she had a good point.
This
But
is ridiculous.
this Padres team does feel like at least 5 or 6 of those Chargers teams that like baffled you how they could lose games. Like what's going
Don't
on?
you
How-
mute my mic? The volume's up.
Like, I didn't do anything, buddy. This is all you.
Mute's off. Like, insane. I got nothing. I'm telling you. Bro, get your ass to bed.
It's a test. I ran a test.
I can't get it in my computer or anything. Nothing.
I'm not doing a 2-hour
Bro,
monologue.
I'm serious.
for the rest of
Like,
the
I
game.
can't even get the
I'll
speaker
tell you
away.
what, I worked too long of a day to do that.
All right.
Oh man. Beef wants me to continue my story. What was just the story about the Chargers?
Yeah,
It
the
was just
Chargers
the fact that
and Phillip
she-
Rivers.
She's not even a sports fan, and she kind of made a point that I thought was actually pretty valid. That
That's like the 5th time
yeah, it
he's
does
tried.
these feel like losses the Chargers would have had. You got to invent creative ways to lose. You're not
Woods,
bad
can
enough.
you hear us now?
Yes.
Like, you're not bad enough to just lose and get beat. You have to come up with creative, weird ways to lose, and that's what this season feels like.
Ben was starting to tell that story, and Woods was just going ballistic.
Did I interrupt your Chargers stories?
Yeah, a little bit.
I did. Just never.
Oh,
I grew up learning as a
Fighting through it.
broadcaster.
Just fighting
You
through
do
it.
not let anything rattle you.
Nothing.
Nothing distracts you. You continue on as if nothing is wrong. That I was taught. Act as though nothing is wrong. And as I've gone on, and I still have that mentality sometimes, it doesn't make any sense. When
doesn't.
someone is just constantly interrupting you,
It makes no sense.
it makes no sense to just continue on as though nothing is wrong.
Like people in the audience watching or listening are going to go, "Oh, well, I'm glad he's plowing through this." No. You
Bro,
got
get your ass to bed.
so good, dude. It is so fantastic. Oh, I love it.
man.
Thank you for being you, Benny. Don't change.
Well, and that's funny because the second clip we have from June is also about me being me. And I guess you guys over the years observed a consistent quirk of mine. I mean, I'm a positive person.
I know exactly what the timeline was.
You do?
because
Okay,
it
well, you
just
tell
happened
me how
again.
this developed, because it happened without my knowledge.
We were very open on the air when we debuted this back in June. We completely stole this idea from the great Howard Stern.
100%.
In fact,
Kai did.
I just sent it to you guys like 2 days ago.
Yep.
Howard Stern just did his annual. He does things I hate.
Yep.
And
He
they put
hates
together
everything.
a clip, and it's I effing hate airports. I hate waiting around
Yeah.
for a Uber driver.
Right.
Just on and on and on. And we started, so that was December of 2022. We heard that year's bit, and we thought, Ben likes a lot of things.
He likes a lot of stuff.
And he says, I like a lot
He
of
likes
things.
a lot of stuff.
And we wanted to put this together, but we needed more than like 7 or 8, and we never told Ben once about this.
Nope. We just would look at each
So
other
for
and wink.
6 months,
compiling.
we compiled over 50.
This is the long game.
This was the long play. Bro, we got to about March, and me and Woodsy would be like, all right, we got like 17. That's good enough, right? We're like, no, we
gotta
gotta
wait,
get
gotta
to
wait,
50.
gotta wait.
Gotta get to 50. And we never told Ben, and then he'd just be like, yeah, I like sandwiches. And we'd like, oh, save that quietly. And it led to this debut back on June 2nd, the debut of Things Ben Likes.
I like good, juicy, sweet strawberries.
I like a good marching band. I like a good thin pancake.
I like a Nickelback song or two.
I like a barbecue chicken pizza. I really like those seeds. I like a midnight buffet. I kind of like the smell of soft scrub. I like more of a small derriere. I like cake.
I like Ed Sheeran.
I like both a hamburger and a cheeseburger. I like clocks. I like how I've kind of set up my life. I like grasshopper pie.
Oh no, I like it creamy. I like good, firm banana.
I like just looking out at the sea. I like eating.
I like moist.
I like curry.
I like big butts.
I like fried Brussels sprouts. I like more of a firm filling. I like corn.
I like Nordstrom. I do like musicals.
I like pepperoni. I like nice hotels. I like Nick getting a start today. I like nuts. I like Steph Curry. I like that song.
I like Squirt.
I like Saki. I like San Diego State.
I like Straight Up, Paula Abdul.
I like the beef and broccoli. I like to mix it up. I like Science Experiments. I like that song. I like the crispiness of the waffle. I really like cheese. I like the little lunch meat. I like very straight lines. I like cannelloni. I like a well-crafted headline. I like brown sugar. I like maps. I'll say I like Justin Turner.
I like Justin Turner. So good.
I noticed a phenomenon where it's not always I like something. I like I say that a lot. I like a good.
Yeah.
I like a nice day. I like a this. I like a that.
I like a crispy pancake.
Ben's going full Italian, like
Whatever.
with his spots. Hey, it's a Ben.
I like Tony
Ben.
DeVito. I like a chicken
I like
cutlet.
a pepperoni pizza.
It's incredible. And you had one today. What was the one today?
What was
It was so. I like sitting down at a Texas Hold'em table or something like that.
You still do it.
I do. It's not like I
thought
wasn't ever
maybe
trying
after-
to build them for you. I
No,
didn't realize I
know
did
that,
it so
but
much.
I thought maybe after the bit debuted in June, you're like, I need to probably stop doing that.
I had no idea I did it that often.
We
until
should
you
have
guys
kept
played it.
adding, and I think we have a few.
Oh, we add them still.
Do we
from
add them
time to
still?
time, right, Paul?
I have not been.
He hasn't been
Oh, you
adding.
haven't been adding.
I thought
need
we were only doing it the one time.
Oh,
I'd like to
I can
add.
start.
I'd like to add till we get to about an hour, and then we could just play it and walk out. Call it a day.
Today, at 9 o'clock one day, it's like, all
That's
right,
it. Well
final hour,
crafted
Ben Woods
headline.
coming up next.
Yeah, stuff
And,
Ben likes. See you
just-
guys later.
That's it.
It's just incredible.
I like a good thin pancake.
I like that one. I like that one.
I like a
Pizza, too.
barbecue chicken pizza.
I like that one. I like them all.
I liked this one. This was I kind of like.
I kind of like the smell of soft scrub.
I like the way I've set up my life. So good. How do we top it? That's always the question. How do we top it next year?
2024.
I like how I've kind of set up my life.
Brilliant.
I like just looking out at the sea.
Yeah.
That one gets me
That one
every
gets me,
time.
yeah. Do you like
And I
looking out at the
do.
sea?
I do. There's a peacefulness to it where it's like the last scene of a movie where the lead character walks to the beach and just kind of quietly looks out at the sea.
looks at the sea.
It seems like it has some sort of meaning, some deeper meaning to it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't do it enough.
It's peaceful.
Yeah, I don't look
It's
out
expansive.
the sea enough.
It gives you a chance for reflection.
It does.
I like living on the coast because of that.
Save all of it. All of it. Tevin says we should do a new one every year, debut it at the 6 months, and keep at it. I know.
If I lived in Kansas, would I like looking at cornfields?
Yeah, and the sunset, sunrise,
Maybe.
I bet. Very nice out there in the plains.
Never lived in the Midwest. Woods has lived in the Midwest.
I have lived everywhere. East, south.
Somebody says, how many movies end with a character looking out at the sea?
Most of them, I
I
think.
can't think of one movie.
Oh, yeah. Name one.
The Matrix, I think.
No.
Gladiator. Star Wars. No, I don't know.
Star Wars actually, it's not this. It's the desert sea. It ends with the sun rises and him looking out right over
the desert,
like the Tatooine
Shawshank
desert.
Redemption. Somebody said that's
Perfect. Shawshank in Zihuatanejo.
Zihuatanejo, them running on the beach. Yeah, good call. All right. You guys can make a move anytime, Padres. Just anytime
Whatever you
you're
want,
ready.
guys.
Whenever you guys are ready. We are ready to go.
they're going to do it next Wednesday, aren't they?
Probably.
Massive blockbuster trade right in the middle of the freaking Christmas and holiday extravaganza.
Point Break. Yep, that's good. Karen says she likes how Ben is so precious. I do too. It's my favorite quality that he has.
I am
precious.
precious.
You are precious.
Just precious.
Yep, you are precious. And you think that you're precious too.
I know I'm
He knows he's precious.
Oh, thank you. I know.
I like more of a small derriere.
That in contrast.
Who says derriere, by the way? Ben. Derriere.
Derriere.
Let me see that derriere. Shake that derriere for me. I'm hot.
I would be lying if, like the song, I said I like big butts.
Because you don't.
Because I don't really. I like a smaller derriere.
Yep. Like a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Can we go to break? Or
No.
No.
We've
Still
got-
got another minute.
What do you want me to talk about? Basketball? You want me to do a
Sure.
little basketball?
Go ahead. Give me some. We got 1 minute.
Congratulations to the Detroit Pistons on their 21st consecutive loss yesterday.
I brought this up this morning.
Yeah.
I did not realize that the Spurs were also in the chamber, and they've lost 18 in a row.
They've lost 18 straight. Lakers
Good
got them
Lord.
yesterday, even though LeBron didn't play. And Victor Wembanyama had 30 and 17, but AD had 37, and Lakers beat the Spurs for their 18th straight loss. So those two teams combined have lost 39 consecutive games.
It's the you saw how excited Spurs fans were when they got Wemby, and
I don't think anyone thought they'd be good this year.
Well,
though. Right? I mean, he's been pretty good. I
Has
mean,
he?
up and down a little bit, but 30 and 17 last night. I mean,
damn good.
You're gonna have to get him some help at some point as well.
Do they have nobody to help him?
Not yet.
Not really.
Ooh, that's rough. Oh well. All right, there we go. There's your basketball fix.
That got us the 14 seconds we needed to cover right there. And now we'll come back with the Reindl Report, football threesome, and Grant Brisbee all in our final hour of Ben and Woods. Next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Oh, Woods isn't back yet, so I can keep talking basketball.
Oh,
yeah, I can.
He's back. He's back.
UNLV upset 8th-ranked Creighton last night.
How about Northwestern last night?
Northwestern
Benjamin?
lost last night, right?
Yeah, to Chicago State.
Did you go to any of those schools?
I did not.
Okay.
I went near both of them, I think. I've never heard of Chicago State. But
Mountain West is having a good year so far in basketball. Colorado State having a really good season. New Mexico, Nevada, obviously San Diego State. Now UNLV, who wasn't even that good, beats a top 10 team in the country on their own floor in Las Vegas. So you could definitely, they could be a 4-bid league again this year with a good non-conference resume that they've put together. But we don't have to talk any more basketball. You're back. Yeah. You're here.
Go ahead though if you want.
No, I'm good. That's I get enough basketball in me, cool. and I think Paulie's actually going to bring up some more hoops in the Reindl report as well, which is a lot of hoop talk. I get that for a show that doesn't do a ton of basketball, especially this time of the year. Yeah. But hey, if the Padres aren't going to make any moves, there's only so many times we can talk about the Dodgers signing Shohei Ohtani as well.
Wait till the clause comes out in his contract.
What was the his jersey has already
it set a record on Fanatics or whatever. Yeah, set some record.
17.
Yeah, number 17.
And I saw people buying 22 Yankees jerseys.
Yeah,
I've never totally understood.
Well, you have to
because there's no name on the back.
Well, right, which is great because if you had a Jacoby Ellsbury jersey, you now have a Juan Soto jersey. But you actually
that's like an upgrade.
You said yesterday too. You're like, I mean, he's only going to be there for a year, maybe. Why would you buy a Juan Soto jersey? Because it can go next year to whoever else is a free agent. Ha-Seong Kim, maybe number 22 for the Yankees next year. You never know. But so yeah, I guess that's the good. Like you had. Jimmy Key was 22, and then you had Roger Clemens was 22, Ellsbury was 22, and now you have Juan Soto. You're like, cool, I'll just keep recycling.
I'd be worried,
these.
though, that they get the wrong impression. Like, oh, Clemens fan. So, no, not really.
No.
No.
I love Jimmy
really.
Key. I'm a huge
really.
Jimmy Key guy. I think now this year they'll know who it's
Do
for.
Yankees fans ever customize and put names on the back of jerseys? That would look weird too.
They put their name or they put the player's name on it, which is very weird.
It always bothered me a little bit. I get it; it's their tradition, but it gives you the sense that they feel like they're extra special.
So you're a me guy then?
I'm not a me guy. The Yankees feel like they are trying to separate themselves. There's 29 teams that put their names on the jerseys. And then there's the extra special team that we should all care about a little bit more that doesn't do it.
I think it's and the one I've always, because the Irish do it too. They wear the just the jersey. They don't have names on the back as well. And I think it's promoting the concept of team.
Right. Well, you shouldn't even have numbers then. To really promote
because
team.
you have to be able to identify who they are.
Okay.
Right. I mean, that guy passes to that guy, and he's running in, and what a block by him.
If you really knew your players, couldn't you identify them by sight
with
at
their
some
helmet?
Point?
I'll give you 50 NFL players just the back, and you tell me who they are.
That'd be a great bit. College coach. We don't want to be known as a team of individuals. There will be no names
or numbers.
No numbers on the back of
Correct.
the jersey. I think the referees might have an issue with that.
I will say this, though, as far as dumb policies
Holding
go.
on the really tall, big white guy on the offensive line.
As far as dumb policy goes, the beard and facial hair bit, that's one I could get behind immediately, saying you need to bang that ASAP. You know what I mean? It's tired. It's that we're past that.
It doesn't even make sense anymore.
It doesn't, man. It really doesn't.
Fashions change.
Yeah, 100%.
What if the Yankees had instituted a rule like, hey, on team buses, you have to wear tab collars because that's what was, fashionable at the time that they instituted. You always have to update even dress codes and policies like that.
Yeah, no question.
Makes no sense.
No question about it. I mean, talk about a dumb policy. That's a dumb policy. It just is. There's just you're
making your players look creepy is what you're doing at this point.
You're not the military. You're a baseball team. They don't need to be uniform. They don't. They can still be themselves and be a good part of the team. It just doesn't make any sense.
If you still want to be the Yankees and you can say, hey, any facial hair must be neatly trimmed. If you
Why
don't want,
even do that?
If you don't want them to look like Justin Turner's all over the place, I get it.
As long as they win, who cares?
Okay.
They're not hurting anyone.
I get it. It is a team, and I think there is some room for some sort of uniformity among your players. But that rule in particular, no facial hair. But whether you are allowed mustaches, though?
Right. The mustache is fine. The creepiest facial hair of all, other than the soul patch, which I rocked. So it's just weird.
I mean, how far could their mutton chops go down and be okay?
It's
if they go down to like Jedediah level, like Andrew Luck.
Well, for me,
is that okay for the Yankees, or where's the cutoff?
For me, it was always like, don't you want your guys to be comfortable? No. You can't wear sweatpants out there. They have a uniform for a reason. Just wear the uniform, but what's on your arms or your neck or your hair length or whatever is weird to me. It's always been weird. It's just dumb.
The Warriors may be instituting a new policy. Don't hit other players. Paulie, take it away with the Rondo Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rondo Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right.
All right. Gentlemen, we will start off in the NBA. Just an update on a story we talked about yesterday. It was in Don't Do This. Draymond Green was ejected from the game the other night for what he said was trying to sell a call, flailing his arms, trying to sell it to the referees.
I saw a little bit of that. I mean, there was definitely some floppage going
he also
on in what
turned
he was
around
doing.
and smacked Yusuf Nurkic in the side of the
He
head.
went
I
hard,
have
dude.
a brother. Everyone's done the old move. Oh, I'm falling over the place and I accidentally hit my sibling. It wasn't on purpose.
You should, if you only knew how many accidents happen in our home on a nightly. I accidentally fell and dragged him into the coffee table every single night of my life.
Well, he was given a flagrant foul and flagrant foul 2, and ejected from the game. And we speculated that he's going to get suspended.
Oh,
for
yeah,
this.
no
Like, this was not the first time. It wasn't the second, third, fourth, or fifth time. Like, he's got a history of doing this.
I believe he's been suspended 5 times in his career. Well, before this year, 5 times in his career, 4 times already this year is what I read, if that's accurate.
Is what he's been ejected this year. He hasn't been suspended
Ejected.
4 times. Yes.
He's been ejected 4 times. 5 ejections previously. 4
So
this year.
he was suspended indefinitely.
He's
by the
increasing
NBA.
the pace.
He's going through it right now.
Now, it says by the NBA, not by the Warriors. So the NBA issued this. He is suspended indefinitely. That's all we know. That announcement came down yesterday. The NBA's press release said the indefinite suspension takes into account Green's repeated history of unsportsmanlike acts.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
going through it. He's got to go to counseling and all that. And
remember, like in the playoffs last year, he was kicking guys in the downstairs.
I think this is tough for Draymond coming back because part of his value is being Draymond out there and being a little unpredictable and being an enforcer. So
what's the first thing you do if you're his opponent?
Yeah, you try to
go to him.
Try to get
all
under
day.
his skin.
The first second he's on the court. Oh, how's counseling go? How you doing? You good? Pinching him and stuff. Like,
I don't think the Warriors want some timid, tame Draymond out there. They just want him to not completely lose his cool.
Yeah, and punch
and get suspended and thrown out of games.
But they're going to be watching him. I mean, they always do, but they're going to be. I mean, now it's like
how many times did Bill Laimbeer get ejected? I don't know the answer to that, but you can be a tough guy without necessarily crossing the line. And he's got to figure out how to do that.
So dirty, dude. Laimbeer.
But now it's going to be harder because, officials are going to be watching even closer everything that he does, which now he's made his own life tougher by crossing the line too many times.
Next up, got a story here. Some strange baseball memorabilia. You've seen over the years the baseball bat, like a sliver of the bat is part of the card, or a hat, or a jersey, or shoe, something. Player game worn item. They take a little snippet of it, they put it inside of a trading card, and Topps, the trading card company, is selling Juan Soto Zoom used apparel. Like, you can get a trading card with Juan Soto, and it's going to have pieces of the hat and the jersey that he wore in his press conference for the Yankees.
Why would anyone want this? It's
don't.
not a historic occasion. It's a boring.
It's not even like game worn.
It's a boring Zoom. It's not even an in-person news conference. It's a boring online Zoom news conference.
Why did they do it? Because people will buy
Well,
it.
here's why. Because you can get it for the hat cards were listed for $349.99. The shirt cards were $89.99.
All right. I am wearing a gray sweatshirt for the show today. Would anyone like to buy
Paulie, go get me some
the
scissors.
sweatshirt that Ben wore on the December 14th episode of Ben and Woods? We'll start the bidding at $300 right now for my sweatshirt.
Tom says in the chat, do I believe this? Do you guys remember this? He said they sold Manny Machado tablecloth relics from his introductory Padres press
I do not remember.
There's
I don't
no-
remember that.
That cannot have happened. There's no way.
I hope it didn't.
I hope it didn't.
I mean,
Sorry, by the way, if you're listening and you did that.
You could sell like actual locks of Manny's hair. I have no interest.
Locks of his hair.
how much can we sell a Ben Higgins?
He doesn't really have locks.
No.
He shaves it pretty tight.
Show worn.
Tom says it did. I promise. There's no way. There's no way. You know who our beloved Charisma would have bought it. So Charisma, if you're listening, how much did you pay for Manny's tablecloth piece?
Was it just the tablecloth piece, or was it like part of a trading card?
I don't
like
know.
those Soto cards.
Can you imagine getting just, hey, that's not connected to a card. It's just a piece of the tablecloth.
In some little plastic.
Charisma says, calling me out here. Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of Padres stuff. I want to know what you paid for Manny's tablecloth. That's what I want to
Getting
know.
offers in for my game used sweatshirt
How
here.
much?
Let's
He
see,
says
I
he'll
got
pay $400. Don't wash it.
it.
That's creepy, dude.
That's disgusting. But
it exists. People
Ben,
say
if
it's
you
a
need
baseball card with a
$400.
tablecloth in it. I am speechless. I'm blown away. Apparently, this is a thing. Now, again, this could be three old guys that aren't into the collecting scene, and this is the way that they do things now. I'm more than willing to admit that.
all right. Well, if you wouldn't spend that much money on a Juan
How much,
Soto
Charisma? How much?
Zoom press conference trading card, would you spend money on? Try not to throw up here. Doritos flavored nacho cheese flavored liquor.
Oh, I saw this yesterday.
Doritos is releasing nacho cheese flavored liquor that they say tastes exactly like a nacho cheese Dorito.
That's the bad thing, though.
They've teamed up with the
They
brand Empirical, and it says they're creating a booze that tastes just like the chips' classic nacho cheese flavor. The nacho cheese spirit was made using real Doritos chips and alcohol.
You're not making it any better here.
I'm just telling you.
There are
what
some things that you just don't want to go together.
Some things you don't want to taste in a liquid alcohol form.
These will be sold starting in 2024 for about $65, it says. They'll be sold online as well as select California and New York markets.
You guys, Tom sent me on eBay
No, he didn't.
the Manny Machado card with the tablecloth. If you'd like to see it, it's here on my computer. It can be yours now for the cool price of $199.95, $200. It's a picture of Manny, and then there is a piece of tablecloth. It's got a stamp on it. It is a real. Are we? I don't know what the market is for our merch and stuff, but I feel like maybe we're selling ourselves short.
There's the card.
I got two flip flops on. I got shorts. I got
I'll
a
sell
belt,
you everything.
I got
have.
underwear.
Yeah. Now that.
Technically, it's the second straight day I've worn it. I don't know if that makes it more or less valuable. Do you ever have that dilemma? It's laundry, and I was down to like the crispy boxer, emergency boxer shorts that I don't really like, but I had not really done anything in the underwear I wore yesterday, so I just decided to stick with it for another day until I could get the laundry done.
You're wearing the same underwear you wore
2 days in a row, yeah. Because I don't like the clean ones that I had. But I didn't do anything.
I didn't even know
They're just kind of, they ride up and they're not comfortable. I mean, they're kind of the emergency boxers.
Do a wash.
I was going to, but I didn't have time yesterday. I never had the chance. I was planning to do it yesterday, and I thought, now I've got to do it today. I'll do it tonight. But I just wore it. I just decided I'm just going to wear it straight another day.
So I've got it up on the chat.
I didn't work out or anything in it. I just went to work yesterday. I put it on before TV yesterday.
You did okay before TV.
So like at 3:00.
That's disgusting.
And I did not change it then today. That's okay, right?
No. You slept in it?
I did. I slept in it. And I just
scratched, I'm sure.
Probably. Is that wrong?
Should I have gone? You're a grown man. You're not in college. What do you eat cereal in bed and leave the bowl next to the thing?
I'm saying that I didn't get to the laundry, and I didn't want to wear the one that it kind of rides up. And it's kind of, well, no. They're boxers, but they're like those crispy ones.
The crispy boxers.
I hate crispy boxers.
I used to wear those. I used to get packs of those sandpaper and zipping down your fly and pulling the thing all day.
I hate that. Yeah.
Boxer briefs are the greatest thing ever invented.
I got really comfortable Lulus on, and
so
it's like I'd rather have the comfortable day olds than the clean but uncomfortable pair.
But they're so loose now. They're not tight onto your thighs. They're loose.
Just because I've been wearing them now?
Yes. You disgust me right now.
Oh, man.
I can't believe what I just heard. We have to go to break. This is unbelievable. What's your limit then? Just ride it. Ride it out as long as you can. See if you can make it until Saturday with that. Just see.
Like if you were late this morning because you told us I had to stop by
underwear
Target or something right when they opened.
I'd be like, I get it. No problem.
That would have been
probably
acceptable.
need more. Apparently, I need more underwear. I don't have enough. All right. Well, a football threesome would be nice around now. Technically, it's Thursday.
I'm feeling very sexy right now.
You are.
Yeah, tomorrow I'll just wear them inside out.
Look for all of our show-worn clothes on eBay coming up after the program. Back after traffic. Ben and Woods here on 97.3 The Fan.
Hold on. Really?
Really? And I think,
Are you insane?
We already have one poll question out, and I don't think we need another this morning, but I thought this was an easy call, and I was surprised you went the other way. The question that Paulie asked us.
Just 2 seconds ago.
Would you wear someone else's washed, clean underwear?
We were just talking about underwear that entire commercial break, and Woods mentioned that he has like 80 pairs of underwear.
I legit no kidding, probably have 30 pair of underwear that are rolled up. It looks like a display.
Do you do laundry once a month?
I don't do laundry.
You never
ever.
run out of
Does your
underwear.
family do laundry once a month?
My wife does laundry every day.
So you probably don't need 30 pairs of underwear.
I need 2. One for today and one for tomorrow.
And then you've got clean
And
again.
then one, she does laundry every day. And
then-
I tell her, like, you don't have to do this. I said, I'll do my own laundry. She won't let me.
So we're talking about this, and then you told Ben, you're like, I could probably give you 15 pairs
I
of
could
underwear.
legitimately give you 15 pair of underwear tomorrow.
I would not take it if you've already worn
Why?
it.
It's clean.
It's not clean.
It is clean.
If it's underwear and you've worn it, it's not clean anymore.
It's clean.
There's no amount of laundry detergent in the world that can really take everything out. I
It's
only wear
boiling
my
hot
own
water.
I only wear my own underwear.
Yeah, multiple days in a row.
But it's my dirt.
Let's
It's
say-
my filth. I'm okay with
Here's
that.
the funny part, and I know he's lying. Not lying, but I know if we are going to Peoria for fantasy
I
camp.
won't be
in
wearing your underwear
in a few
there.
weeks. He gets there. And this has happened to me before. I've forgotten to pack underwear. I've forgotten to pack socks. If we got to Peoria and he's
going to the store,
you wouldn't.
I will go to the store without
wouldn't.
underwear on. I will not wear your underwear under any
if I
circumstances.
said, Ben, I've got 10 pair.
I'm not taking any of them unless they're brand new in the package, and then fine, I'll take it. But no, I'm not wearing someone else's underwear. Not even my own family. Yeah.
What if
about
somebody
socks?
asked you to?
It's a different conversation. I hate to interrupt all this jovial fun.
My head just exploded.
We're getting a lot of I would not put on anything that has touched anyone else's private parts. I thought it was an easy no. You were an easy yes.
If we're in Arizona,
I would recommend, if it was you, don't wear my underwear even if it's clean.
What are you doing to your underwear that can't
Nothing.
be washed out in a wash?
I guess I don't trust the washing machine enough.
They're so good. It's not like we're on the scrubber out in the yard, scrubbing these
washboard
stains out of this washboard. Like they're boiling hot water. They go for 45 minutes.
I usually run the cold cycle because I think that it makes your clothes last longer. You can't run the hot cycle every time.
You are unbelievable, man.
What is going on?
I'd wear yours or Paul's.
We got a football threesome and Grant Brisbee to get to, so we got to keep moving here. Paulie, please.
Can Ben and Woods interest you in a threesome?
A threesome would be fun.
Oh, not that kind of threesome.
Dang it.
We're talking end-arounds, the best tight ends in the world.
He must work out.
And going all the way in this game of inches.
Nice.
It's the NFL Threesome with Ben and Woods. Brought to you by Hamul Casino. Fun above all else on 97.3 The Fan.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He's giving them the business.
All right, we've got some NFL business today here for you. I will start. Congratulations to your AFC and NFC Players of the Week, Zach Wilson and Tommy DeVito.
Just like we all drew it up.
And I saw a lot of people, this would have been unfathomable.
The odds of that
last week even, really.
You would have bet $1 to make $1 billion.
What parlay? Yeah. What could possible parlay odds could you have gotten?
It was
on
$1 billion to 1.
Zach Wilson and Tommy DeVito being your players of the week, the two New York quarterbacks for the two teams that have gotten some of the worst quarterbacking play. Like, not just this year, but really, like, historically bad this year. And both of them the same week line up as their conference's players of the week after sensational performances by the Jets and the Giants.
It's incredible,
A
man.
stunner.
Yeah,
An absolute stunner.
I saw Tommy DeVito's agent was on with Levitard. I saw a clip making the rounds yesterday, and Levitard kept calling it a costume. He's in costume. He gets on the thing, and he's like, "It ain't no costume. It ain't no costume." My wife tells me I was my first life. I was in the I was born in the 20s. He's amazing. He's working on some opportunities for him and some other clients. Ride this thing out, man, as long as you can, because who knows if it'll ever come back.
It's great publicity. For
It's
both
great.
of them.
It's great.
Both of them.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
This is, you know what, man? There's a lot I don't respect about the NFL. A lot. This is one aspect about the NFL. I really do. They legitimately try to improve their officiating. They don't get it right all the time. No league does. They absolutely try to do it. Here's the article in ESPN. The NFL hears the rampant complaints about its officiating. They're trying to do something about it. Obviously, we're talking about the Mahomes call, the Kadarius Toney. Roger Goodell said, look, I think almost everybody's acknowledged the officials are absolutely correct. That's their job to call a foul. I think it shows how difficult it is to do their job. But Troy Vincent, who's the VP of football operations and kind of heads up, a former great player, heads up the officiating kind of scene there. And he said, look, like, we have to act responsibly. We want the game to be played on the field, but we're always looking to improve officiating. It's a constant work in progress. Do you know of any, like, have you ever seen a statement from Rob Manfred saying, you know, yeah, our umpires need to be better. We're missing way too many easy calls, blatant calls, et cetera, et cetera.
Supposedly, I think Major League Baseball umpires are supposed to be rewarded with playoff assignments if they do well, but it really doesn't make a lot of sense who ends up getting there.
But no, we saw some horrifically bad.
Yeah,
we
actually
actually saw some horrifically bad regular season umpires in playoff games on the dish in huge games. That really happened.
Yeah, that was discussed. NFL winter meetings were just going on this week, and Roger Goodell spoke yesterday. Also awarded Super Bowl LXI to SoFi Stadium. Woodsy, what Super Bowl is that?
56. 66, 76, 86, 46.
LXI.
L is what?
50.
50.
No, LXI. Come on, people.
57.
You guys are flunking your Roman math classes.
X.
LXI.
59. 58.
Roger
56.
Maris. Roger Maris.
61.
Yes, there you go.
I said
61.
that.
You didn't say 61, did you?
I didn't.
I didn't think so. Tonight, finally, we've got Thursday night football for you here.
Wait, you never told us where they're awarding it.
Oh, SoFi Stadium. Back to L.A. Second time in 5 years.
Wow.
And then tonight, Chargers Raiders in Las Vegas. We knew Justin Herbert was out. Now Keenan Allen is out too, because there's no point. Both teams are 5-8. Even if they won all their games, there's almost no chance either of them could make the playoffs. Enjoy that content for you tonight here on 97.3 The Fan.
The banger.
We will have Grant Brisbee from The Athletic joining us, talking about Shohei spurning the Giants, Jung-Ho Lee going to the Giants. Will Clark is amazing. I'm sure he's got some thoughts on that as well. We'll play that audio again
great.
And enjoy that. Coming up next with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Extravaganza is coming up on Wednesday. We're giving away $1,000 gift cards to help families in need buy gifts for the holiday season. You can nominate a family in need by going to 973thefansd.com/holiday. We'll be giving away $1,000 gift cards thanks to some incredible sponsors. We've got Swami's Cafe, a spot to dine and unwind. 7 Mile Casino, just minutes from downtown. Seals Lacrosse, get your tickets at sealslax.com. And Padilla Law Group, San Diego's father-son injury law firm. Visit padillalawgroup.com. And the Tier 1s have come up with 2 now $1,000 gift cards as well. So it's going to be a Merry Christmas around these parts come next week for our holiday and Christmas extravaganza. Got Grant Brisbee calling in right now. We'll talk to him after the traffic check here on 97.3 The Fan. And let's welcome one of our favorites. Grant Brisbee from The Athletic is back with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Good morning, Grant.
How are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
We're
it's
good.
Our pleasure, man. You make me laugh every single day, dude. Every single day I see your tweets, and I'm like, God, this is really top tier stuff.
One thing we need from
I'm sorry for you.
You're well. One thing we need from you this morning. We played this audio earlier, and I need some more thoughts from a Giants follower like yourself on Will Clark, because this was amazing from earlier today.
Unreal.
Does Will speak for all Giants fans, Grant?
That goes in the pantheon of practice. We're talking about practice and playoffs.
Yes.
I mean, that's for Giants fans specifically. It's a niche version of those, but I don't think he speaks for Giants fans when it comes to the $70 million DH. I think they'd really like one of those, especially if he pitches when he's healthy. So, I don't know if that speaks to Giants fans, but the general sentiment, sure. And I think Padres fans, that's like the handshake meme. You can agree with us.
I feel like we're all going to come together, Giants fans and Padres fans, in the next.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I think in the next 10 years, you'll see a little more symbiosis.
Are we waving a truce with Giants fans?
It's true. It's very, 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 very true, because we both sit. You guys, looking south. We're looking north, going, what in the hell is going on there, and how do we stop it? And there's guys on my team that I really like and enjoy watching playing, and you guys just added a guy. You spent a lot of money to get Lee in from Korea. What's been the general consensus from Giants fans? I get the sense it's probably not enough for them yet.
Not enough yet. They still need. They really need to build. They're not going to outscore a ton of teams, so they need to build a rotation that makes you go, oh, okay, that's something. Every guy that they're throwing at us in this 4-game series, we don't want to face. You've got a decent start with that, with Logan Webb and Alex Cobb. Just one more guy, maybe 2 more guys. I mean, you're trading for Corbin Burns. If somehow Yamamoto thinks that the idea of being Ohtani's rival is appealing to him, it appeals to his competitive spirit, I don't know. But something else would go a very, very long way. In the interim, Lee's very exciting. He's new. He's fresh. He makes contact. He's not just some slow galoot who, has a decent walk rate and hits 15 homers a year, which is literally every player on the Giants. He makes contact. He's fun, high average, all over the place. He zips around. His dad was named a son of the wind because he was so fast, and now he's the grandson of the wind. It's exciting.
Grant Brisbee from The Athletic is with us. And, the Giants were in on Arson Judge, didn't get him. Carlos Correa didn't pass the physical. Ohtani spurned them, even though they offer the exact same thing as the Dodgers. There's this sense that the Giants want to and need to land a superstar. Now, some people said they got their star in Lee. Other people have gone, they got a 7 kind of hitter in Lee. Do the Giants need a superstar, or is it okay if they can put together a team that wins games without that superstar like they did a few years ago when they won 107 games?
Yeah, I think there's 2 possible answers to this. First is the superstar they needed was Bryce Harper, and they whiffed. If they had to do it over again, they might have been able to come over the top. I don't know if he wanted to play in Oracle Park because of the dimensions and how hitter unfriendly it is, but that's the real miss. It's not Correa, it's not Arson Judge, it's not even Ohtani. It's whiffing on Bryce Harper, because at that moment, that's when the Giants needed the excitement the most to just kind of percolate and carry on into the years to come. The other answer to that is they need to develop their own star. They need Marco Luciano to become that guy, because in the golden era of Giants baseball, who was it? It's Buster Posey, it's Madison Bumgarner, it's Tim Lincecum, it's Matt Cain. Like, these are guys that came up and they're rookies, they're unknowns, they're enigmatic, and then all of a sudden they're superstars and beloved and they're icons. That's what needs to happen. It hasn't happened in a long time. Logan Webb is a heck of a start, but we're talking it's got to be Luciano, it's got to be Bryce Eldridge, it's got to be Kyle Harrison. These guys have to be the superstars, because the Giants, look, it's kind of a bad deal to go out and get a superstar. I think they kind of dodged a bullet with Carlos Correa. What if they put all that money into Javier Baez or something?
Right.
Free agents are risky, so they gotta do their own work and get their own superstar.
And I want to ask you about Buster Posey in a minute. Talking to Grant Brisbee here from The Athletic. It will be interesting to me. We had Bob Melvin here. The knock on Bob, there were a lot from Padre fans after it kind of went south. But, many made, hundreds and hundreds of people made this point to me. Well, Bob's not good with superstars. Bob is good at getting the most out of the guys that are on the come, the guys that are the up-and-comers, which the Giants have, as you just mentioned, a lot of those guys. That, to me, is going to be really interesting. That's when Bob Melvin truly was at his best, when with those athletic teams that didn't have they had a lot of superstars in waiting, but maybe this could work to your advantage, Grant.
Yeah, that's not a bad take. I mean, you read about the friction that he might have had with some of the higher profile players in San Diego, and then you think about, well, what does Matt Chapman say about it? Matt Chapman's like, this guy's my guy.
That's his guy.
This is my favorite. This is my surrogate dad, and it makes that point. I don't know him personally. I didn't pay attention to him that much in San Diego or Oakland, just because of the nature of my job is to focus on the Giants. But if he can do that, that's what the Giants need. The Giants, all of these moves that they made that flopped last year, Michael Conforto and Mitch Haniger, is because they did not have guys waiting in the wings. It's not good to build teams through free agency. It's very, very risky, and I know what the Rangers just did, but that's an anomaly. That is something that you can't expect to happen every time you're spending 9-figure contracts.
Great, Woods. So now that the Padres are going to be relying more on their younger players that are coming up on the come, now we don't have Bob Melvin.
Correct.
Perfect timing for the San Diego Padres. I never even thought about that.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
So yesterday on our show, Grant, I proposed like a trade idea. And I don't think it'll ever happen because Ha-Seong Kim is incredibly popular down here. He's valuable, defensive. He's only gotten better each year offensively, but he is going into the last year of his contract. And I know the Giants could use a shortstop, and now they have his best friend in the world going to be manning center field for their team next season. I think the Giants would have to overpay and really send a lot. But do you think that would be something the Giants would be consider making an offer for Ha-Seong Kim?
Well, it would certainly make a lot of baseball sense for the Giants. Maybe not the Padres, but for the Giants, 100%, because now you're able to get Marco Luciano maybe to third base or second base where he profiles a little bit better, and then you get that plus defender up the middle. That would be an outstanding baseball move. Would it happen? I don't see it, but who knows? I mean, AJ Preller is a wacky guy. So let's see. I'm looking at the roster. Brett Wisely, do you know him? He's great defensively. Joey Bart Yeah. Joey Bart, Brett Wisely, and I'll throw in Ross Stripling.
Probably not enough.
No, that's not enough.
Probably not enough. I mean, from our perspective, we got
want
Jake,
Kyle Harrison.
No deal, Grant.
We
No
got
deal.
Jake Cronenworth, and he can slide back to second base. So we want like Kyle Harrison.
That's
you're
not
gonna
happen,
hurt. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's
if
gonna
we're
hurt.
pulling off this trade, it's gonna hurt.
But the Giants were, in a place where they could have gotten Sean Murphy from the A's, but they were willing to possibly give up Marco Luciano in that deal.
Wow.
But they drew the line at Kyle Harrison, and they said, you know what, that's too much. So they actually had Harrison as the one guy that they were going to hold on to keep. So I think that might be too much. But the Giants have a ton of really good major league ready arms, I think, in the rotation. I don't know, man. I think it makes a lot of sense. I'd like you to maybe make some calls and see if it can happen.
Yeah, we're not going to.
AJ doesn't listen to us.
No, he definitely doesn't. Talking to our pal Grant Brisbee from The Athletic, and your colleague Andrew Baggerly yesterday had a really nice piece in The Athletic as well with a comment that I think is now, as comments do, taken on a life of its own from Buster Posey. His quote was something I think is noteworthy, something that unfortunately keeps popping up from players, even the players' wives. There's a bit of an uneasiness with the city itself as far as the state of the city with crime, with drugs. Whether that's all completely fair or not, perception is reality. It's a frustrating cycle. So Buster is essentially, he's been in these pitch meetings to try to get these superstars there, and that's something that has been raised, I guess, by the players. How much of that national perception do you think is really hurting you guys?
I will say that during the winter meetings, I was talking with the Dodgers writer, and he told me in no uncertain terms the Dodgers don't think he's going to San Francisco because he hates the city. So there might have been something to that smoke, at least with that one specific free agent.
Sure.
I heard that before all this came out. That said, I mean, yeah, let's worry about the crime in San Francisco. I'm so worried about it. I'm going to go to Los Angeles,
L.A. Right.
That kind of stuff is. And then you're thinking about recent history where the Warriors are getting Kevin Durant, to come to Oakland, and now you're saying, oh, the superstars are scared of the Bay Area. Come on, man! The Giants haven't spent money. They don't have an exciting team. That's the bigger reason why he's not in San Francisco and he's in LA. The Giants just what do the Giants have to offer him? If he hated LA, maybe the Giants could say, hey, this park is cool. We've got a plan for you. But if he wanted to stay in Southern California, what are you going to do? The real missed opportunity, and I'm actually considering writing about this today, is that after that 2021 season, that's when the Giants should have gone nuts. That's when they should have said, here's some 9-figure contracts to Carlos Correa the first time. This is where we're going to butt in on Freddie Freeman. That's the missed opportunity. Not, it's not the city. If they had done that for Freddie Freeman, if they had gone in and said, hey, we're going to do 9 years and, $500 million, that would have got Freddie Freeman to San Francisco. So,
no doubt.
I don't think it's the city.
Now we know why the Warriors and the 49ers can't get any good players either. Oh wait. Doesn't make any sense at all.
I think the Niners actually play closer to San Diego.
That's true.
So.
That's true.
The deep suburbs of Santa Clara. Grant, I really appreciate it. You're always one of our favorite guests. Welcome anytime. Thank you for joining us this morning.
You got it. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it.
Grant Brisbee from
awesome.
The Athletic. They got Jung Ho Lee. He was not unamenable to a Ha-Seong Kim deal, but they are in no way going to part with Kyle Harrison.
I wouldn't either.
Sounds like for anything at this point.
I would not either.
And I can't see the Padres doing a deal, especially in division, without knowing it's going to hurt badly that other team.
Yeah, for sure.
I would consider trading Ha-Seong Kim because any player going into the last year of their contract has to be.
You have to be under consideration.
You have to listen to trade offers, but in division, you'd have to make it hurt and hurt badly. And Ross Stripling ain't gonna
does not do it for me, my friend. As much as we need the arms, no, Ross Stripling does not do it.
Ain't
for
gonna
me.
do it for me. But always fun to chat with Grant Brisbee.
We don't do it enough, to be fair to Grant Brisbee. He's
well,
so
we've
good,
said it
man.
before. He is, he works that writer's schedule.
Yeah, he's tough to get.
That. Like it's got to be 9:35. That's like
it.
the earliest he'll do.
That's the earliest he'll do.
Well, he's got a couple of kids, and he's in charge of morning drop off at school and all that. So he's got the late nights, the drop off at school. It's tough, but he is always.
But we'll occasionally sneak him in our last segment of the day. at 9:35, and always happy to do so.
Got a recommendation for you guys, the baseball heads out there, which I know many of you are. Most of you probably are. Our pal Eno Saris did a podcast. He does a podcast called Rates and Barrels. I listened to it yesterday on Spotify. He had Kyle Bodie on, Ben, talking about player development. And Kyle Bodie, we've interviewed many, many times, runs Driveline. And they talked about some of the next waves in baseball player development.
Two of the smartest minds in baseball. On
It's
a
almost
podcast
like I was almost like listening in shame. I was, and I was like, I understand about a quarter of this, but the stuff I did, and it was interesting how he talked about, look, if you're a Padres fan, you're going to listen to it and go, God dang it. It makes you a little bit. They do a part about Mookie Betts and how Mookie Betts is one of the hardest workers in baseball, and how he will go out and literally take like an hour and a half of ground balls at shortstop, which he doesn't play, which he's never played. He just likes to do it. He likes to play baseball. He said the impact of Mookie's work ethic on guys like James Outman. When your superstars are out there, your guys that have gotten their bag, when they're out there grinding, he talked about how the Dodgers are pretty good at identifying guys like that, and I just went, man, okay. But they did talk about some player development stuff. The way that they're using AI is really fascinating as far as keeping one message throughout an entire organization. AI, they record all their meetings. Like, it's fascinating. It's a fascinating look.
To the Mookie point, I love players who love baseball the way we love baseball as fans. You always hate to feel like a guy is simply doing it for the money, and he's great, but hey, if he could make that kind of money doing something else, he'd be somewhere else. You don't want to cheer for that kind of guy. So you like guys who love baseball. Going out and taking a bunch of ground balls at shortstop doesn't really do anything for me. Now, I know Mookie's moving to the infield this year.
Yeah,
I think Dave Roberts
plays second.
says he's going to be second base this year, which is fine. It's great. But it's a long season, and I don't have a problem with guys also pacing themselves and resting themselves and not overworking.
Well, you're in the right place, buddy.
Tommy Pham, Jake Cronenworth worked his butt off last year to struggle. Worked his butt off to struggle last year. It doesn't always equal results just by getting in the cage more, doing more ground balls. It's got to be. It's that thing. It clicks. You can go out to the driving range as a golfer.
Hit 1,000
balls. Nothing happens. You can take one swing that just something clicks in, and all of a sudden you're locked in.
It was more about the identification by the Dodgers of knowing what a baseball rat he was before they committed that money to him. So it was more on the Dodgers and less on Mookie. It's a really good listen. Check it out, Rates and Barrels.
All right, we got one more show tomorrow. If you missed it earlier, Kyle Higashioka will be joining us in our 8 a.m. segment tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, we got Coach Braden's back. I see next. And then we're back at 6 a.m. tomorrow. For Paul Reindl, Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Thursday from all of us here at 97.3 The Fan.